Warning: the Listen Up Anime podcast may contain spoilers and mature language not suitable for younger audiences. Viewer discretion is advised. Hey guys, welcome to the second episode of the Listen Up Anime podcast. I'll be your host for today, Mecha. With me is my usual co-host, Astral.
Hola.
And we have a special guest today. What would you like to call us? D-Man, D?
Either D-Man, D, doesn't matter.
Sure.
Any variation is good.
He's an old friend of mine. He likes some waifus.
Yes.
He's the owner of a anime community, Team Tsundere. Shout out to them. So today's episode, we're gonna start with Astral revealing your 3x3 because you said you didn't have one last week, right?
Yeah, I had my manga 3x3. I didn't have my anime 3x3.
Okay, this could be interesting.
Sure. So let's start off by revealing it.
Okay. So I talked last week about how much I like Cowboy Bebop. So obviously that's gonna be the first thing on my 3x3. I already talked about Cowboy Bebop and how much I like it last week, so I'm not gonna go into it. So yeah.
Say Cowboy Bebop, solid. I still haven't watched it,
Same.
Yeah, trust me, I'm sad. I'm disappointed in both of you, but it's okay.
I like I said last week, I'm a big fan of Shinichiro Watanabe. I love his work. I just never got the chance to watch Cowboy Bebop. I should watch it.
It's on my list for like 5 years now.
Yeah.
It's okay. I know a lot of people who haven't seen it yet, but yeah.
Okay.
Next on my list is Revolutionary Girl Utena.
Okay. I haven't seen that either. Okay.
I know it.
I know. The thing is, I know a lot of people who know about these shows, but just haven't gone back to see them.
So, Utena, I know is like the revolutionary shoujo show. Right? It's like so unlike any other shoujo show. It's just crazy. Actually, revolutionary.
It's basically a deconstruction of that genre as a whole.
Okay.
And that's one of the reasons it's so interesting. Ikuhara, I think he took his time. I believe he took his time working on the Sailor Moon anime, and he decided to make his own thing to do whatever he wanted because he was working on Sailor Moon and he was like, I think that I want to do my own thing with this kind of thing. And then he just made Utena, and it's one of the most revered anime just of all time. People really love Utena.
It's an anime original, right? It's not a...
I believe it's an original, yeah.
I think so. I think it's the original.
I know there's a manga, but I think it came afterward. And I've never read it, so yeah. But Utena is a great anime. I love Ikuhara as the director. He's one of my favorite anime directors.
He did
I hadn't...
What else did he do?
Huh?
He did Sailor Moon. Did he do anything else?
No, he worked on Sailor Moon. I think he directed episodes for it. He worked on Maladu Penguin Drum. If you know what that is, if you've heard of that.
Yeah, I know that show.
He worked on Penguin Drum. He worked on Yori Kuma Arashi, which is very all of his shows, in my opinion, are extremely underrated, and I wish more people would watch them. Yuri Kuma, people just blow off because they're lesbians, and I hate it because it's genuinely a great show that no one talks about. And Penguin Drum is just one of my favorite, just anime from when I first seen it.
So he just directs all the acid trip shows, yeah?
Yeah.
They're not acid trips, really. They're
Dude, Yuri Kuma, Arashi, and Penguin Drummer. Some episodes I watched, I'm on.
You don't know what
the fuck?
Okay,
did
but
something slip something?
Yeah.
They have a lot of very great imagery, and they have a lot of metaphors that you need to think about. It's I feel like his shows are very good for rewatches.
Mm-hmm.
If you rewatch, you'll just understand the shows a lot better each time you'll go into them, and they're very worth your time. The most recent show I think he directed was Sarazanmai. I don't know.
Okay.
That's the show with the Kappas.
Yes. Okay, that makes sense.
Once again, another acid trip show.
Is it acid trip? Oh my! It makes so much sense now.
That show is.
The thing is, I don't want you to just summarize it by it's an acid trip.
Okay.
I hate when people just generalize it like that.
But they're generally good though.
Yeah, they're genuinely great
Yeah, they're
shows.
good, but like they're definitely like on the weirder side. But it's not bad.
Like
It's not bad.
you guys like it
Yeah,
just like
they're a lot more interesting than a lot of, just overall.
Okay.
But yeah, I love Utena. The directing is so interesting as expected from Ikuhara. Um, I really like when the animation is just like it's such a really good looking show when it wants to be. It gets a little like janky sometimes because it's like it's older and sometimes they didn't have the best thing going on there, but when it looks great, it really does look great. It's one of the nicest looking older anime that I've seen. It's really great. And the movie is amazing as well. A lot of people call it the equivalent of it's the Utena equivalent to End of Evangelion. A lot of people call it. Some people call it the End of Utena, which is pretty funny, but you know, I like that movie. Utena's just a great show overall. I think more people should give it a shot. I can't really explain it. If you watch it, I feel like a lot of people get what I mean, but yeah, Utena's a show that's really I've grown to like a lot over the course of and appreciate more over the course of these years. So yeah.
Okay, that's fair. It's just one of those shows, right? Where I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna watch this, but then I just don't. Because
I
like
mean,
it's
that's a shame.
that's like me with a lot of like older anime. Like I know they're really good, but like I don't know, man. So sometimes I'm just like so lazy, and it's like it's not on Crunchyroll. Okay, I guess I'm not watching it.
I mean, you have an account, right?
Yeah,
So you just don't watch anything that's not on Crunchyroll.
sometimes, man. Sometimes, right?
I
I'm just
see.
like I'm lazy as hell, man. I don't want to go to these bootleg anime sites and get some viruses, you know.
I've been
That's ad blocker
beyond
is right
that.
there.
I'm
I don't know about that. Ad blocker is right there, bro.
No, it's also like on Funimation now. I think that,
Oh, I don't know anything about that,
I don't want to sub to no Funimation. I'm gonna be real with you.
no. They recently added like what sometime like in May or April, I think.
They added it.
Yeah, like a whole bunch of other shows.
oh well, you should give it a shot, Mecha. Fuck you,
What the? Fuck?
both of you.
Okay. You know what? When I'm in the mood to watch old anime, I'll watch it.
I already watched it. I already watched Naruto for the first time, so
Oh boy.
Bro, how are you gonna watch all of Naruto and then you just can't watch a 52 episode show?
Yeah, hold on. Time out.
Come on, man.
Time out. Wow. That's wild. That's wild.
That's very upsetting.
That's
Oh,
wild.
man.
That's wild.
All right, I'll let it slide for now. We got to keep moving on.
Oh, man.
Third up on my list is Kare Kano. Kare Kano is oh man,
Kare Kano. That is.
Kare
That's
Kano
an older
is
one, right? That's like 90. That's like from
Kareshi
97.
Kanojo.
Yeah, Kareshi
Yeah,
Kanojo.
Kareshi Kanojo. That is probably one of my favorites, if not my favorite romantic comedy anime.
Dang.
Kare Kano is directed by Hideaki Anno, the same guy who directed Ava and
That's
Gunbuster.
fucking wild.
Yeah, so after Ava, Anno was like, "All right, let's give this directing thing another shot." And then he directed an adaptation of a rom-com, which is completely different from Ava. Just utterly departure, but it's probably like overall Anno's best directing work. I won't say it's his best work, but I think it's because Ava's very like Ava can be pretty messy in its direction because you know Ava, but so like
I don't, but you know.
Oh yeah, God, you haven't seen Ava yet. Damn.
Okay, I've watched like 5 episodes, but I haven't watched all of it through.
Okay, but yeah, people who watch Ava know what I mean. But Kare Kano is a lot more solid as a director, as Anno as a director for a show. I feel like when he, like a lot of the scenes are just very entertaining to watch. Like it's a lot better than a lot of romantic comedies I've seen when it comes to that thing. And the characters' relationships are just like the main characters' relationships are just a lot more interesting and deep than a lot of other rom-com protagonists. And I just love their chemistry together when they're on screen. It's just so fun to watch, and it's one of those shows where like even I care a lot even for the side characters and their relationships.
Mm-hmm.
They're just really fun characters to watch on screen as well. I love the animation. It looks very fun. It's a very fun show, but when it gets serious and sad, it hits pretty hard. I highly recommend it if you like romantic comedies. I've told you about Kare Kano before, Mecca, and how you should watch it. But the only gap point is that like partway through the show, it's like so Ano and the author of Kare Kano had like they had differences in how the direction should go for the show, and Ano like ended up like leaving his directorial spot for Kare Kano, and then like there was also a portion like during the like last part of the show, basically they're like leading up to another arc that basically never comes, and the show never got a season 2. So that's like
that's tough.
It's pretty tough, yeah, but the show like up to that point is still really amazing. So if you like stop watching at like around episode, I forgot when there's like the point where they lead into the next arc, but there's a point where I feel like it's fine if you stop, and if you keep going, it just feels like bonus. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's like the only problem. But overall, it's a really great watch, even with that problem, and I just adore the characters and the cast so much, and I love because I'll go into it later. I'll go into it another day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll say for rom-com discussions that will probably inevitably happen.
Yeah, probably knowing you.
Okay, this is going to the top of my list.
Kare Kano?
There you go.
Yeah.
Yo, you're gonna watch Kare Kano, D-Man? Yes, sir. Yeah.
I love rom-com, so like...
Don't tell anyone. It's on YouTube right now.
Oh, shit.
Don't tell anyone.
Accessibility.
Yeah, there you go. You talk about, I don't want to watch virus-ridden sites, but there you go. It's right there.
Damn, I guess I have to watch it too then. Sheet.
Yes, sir.
So,
next up.
I'm seeing a trend here. You seem to like your old-ass anime.
Oh, no, the top row of my 3x3 is just old anime, which is really funny. But after that, we're just in the newer stuff, which is pretty...
Okay. I was like,
yeah, it's just my top row.
This guy's actually an anime boomer, and he's younger.
I'm not a boomer. I just went back and watched some good shit, the classics. I just decided to go back.
All right, go ahead.
Next up on my list is Hunter x Hunter.
2011.
Yes, sir.
This is one of the. This is actually just one of the shonen.
2011. Yeah.
2011.
Okay.
I think the old one is pretty slept on, but I definitely think that 2011.
There's no reason to watch it over 2011.
I agree, and I think 2011 is the superior version.
Yeah, of course.
But,
certain scenes you can watch for the 99 version.
Yeah. I like the aesthetic of the 99 version a lot. It's really nice looking. But 2011 is just a great like shonen. Like overall, I don't even know if it's just like because Hunter x Hunter goes through like so many like different kinds of arcs. Because like they all feel so different from each other. You know what I mean? Like there's Heaven's Arena, there's Greed Island, there's the Gorknu, and then there's like there's one of the peak shonen arcs in Chimera Ant. Amazing.
Yeah, I was about to say, I actually think Chimera Ant might be one of the best, if not the best, shonen arc like ever.
It is
phenomenal. It is a phenomenal arc. Like sure, people like complain about there's a lot of talking. There's a lot of like especially from the narrator. I heard a lot of people complain about that when I like showed them it the first time. But that doesn't stop it from being one of the best arcs in shonen. I feel.
Yeah.
And like Hunter x Hunter is just a phenomenal adaptation. Like I'm sure you guys have seen like the sketches of that arc because like the author is like really bad health and he's always going on hiatus and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So like what he's had to do is like he's had to like draw like sketches basically.
On napkins?
But the way were they on napkins?
I don't know. I heard
I didn't know it was that bad.
He would go to a restaurant and then he's like, oh shit, I gotta put some sketches out. So he like drew some shit on a napkin and he like took a picture of it. If that exists somewhere on the internet, our editor will like put a picture here. But like I'm pretty sure I heard a story about that. I'm pretty. I was
That
like, wow, that's crazy.
if that's true, that's really sad. But like,
Yeah.
yeah, everyone Hunter x Hunter is known for its hiatuses.
Mhm.
Everyone calls it
Hiatus.
hiatus is a joke. Yeah.
That's
Yes.
wild.
It kind of hurts, but it'd be like that. But yeah, even so, like the way the anime adapts that, like even the sketchy style is like really great. It just does a great job with adapting Hunter x Hunter as a whole, even with all like the flaws the manga has, I guess. And it's just a very solid watch.
Madhouse did a really good job,
Yeah, excellent job. And
as usual.
all the characters are great. If you know her, you know what I mean. Like all the characters are great. Gon is amazing. Killua is a fan favorite. He
Yeah.
got
Everyone.
drip.
Yes. Oh, he's always decked out.
Yeah, he always got a new outfit. It's pretty clean. Like Togashi, just I feel like after he wrote
Yu Yu Hakusho.
Yu Yu Hakusho, he just like he just knew what to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Togashi did a great job on Hunter x Hunter, and I think everyone should give it a watch at least once if you like shonen.
I've rewatched it with a bunch of friends recently, and they recently got to the Chimera Ant arc.
How'd that
And they,
go?
okay, last time we stopped was before the scene.
Oh, the scene.
You can talk about spoilers here. I have a spoilers warning before the.
Okay.
So you can go
Okay,
talk
Dave.
about it.
Okay, basically, I basically we were watching. Basically, like they were about to reach the nest, and then Pichu just woke up and learned Nen. So they stopped the episode before she cuts off Kite's arm and kills him.
Oh,
shit.
all right. Shit.
So
Dude.
I told them they should watch up to that episode, but they didn't listen.
Damn.
So okay, damn. So they saw even before that, the Chimera Ant arc is really dark. Like I
Yeah.
remember it's such a gigantic tone shift. You know what I mean? I feel like you're just gonna watch it and you're like, holy shit, what is going on now? And it's just wild.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
But
my god.
That
it's
arc
such
is
a great arc.
That arc's so good, man. I might go rewatch Hunter x Hunter now you're talking about that. Just the Chimera Ant arc. Oh,
It's just a great show. I loved 2011.
yeah, it's definitely great.
It's
Definitely great.
yeah. So yeah, that's Hunter x Hunter. Next on my list is Baka and Test. So I remember. So the thing about Baka and Test is it's one of the first anime I've ever watched.
Okay.
There's like 4 anime back when Funimation had a channel that no 5. There's 5 anime that I
on
specifically
YouTube.
remember watching when Funimation had like a TV channel.
Okay.
Like deadass on TV, like when Funimation had a channel. There were 5 anime. It was what was it? It was
Inuyasha?
Baka and Test. No, not Inuyasha. I don't remember watching Inuyasha at all. If I did, Baka and Test, Summer Wars. That was like one of the first like anime movies I watched. I think Summer Wars.
Fire.
And I remember they would air it every summer.
Fire movie.
And
I
would.
Fire movie.
Huh? Summer Wars is a great movie. Like I think that's.
Oh, my Lord.
Yeah, Hosoda directed the Digimon movie, didn't he?
Yeah,
it looks
very much the same.
I feel like he directed the Digimon movie and he's like, no, fuck this, bro. I'm gonna
I want more.
I'm gonna do this, but like go, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah. There was Baka and Test, there was Summer Wars, there was what was it? Black Butler. I remember watching Black Butler like once or twice. I don't know why I remember it, but I do. It was Black Butler. What was another one? Witchblade. I don't know how I managed to watch Witchblade.
What?
Witchblade was on Funimation.
Okay, I just took that in.
Witchblade? Wait, hold on.
Yes, Witchblade was on Funimation.
Am I thinking of the right show? Witchblade?
I watched Witchblade very young, and I knew to turn it off because it was like getting wild. So I just turned it off. But I do remember watching Witchblade on Funimation.
Yo, really?
Yeah, it wasn't like a big thing. I only watched like a bit of it before I turned it off. And the last big thing was Soul Eater. I watched a lot of Soul Eater on Funimation. It was like probably like the first real shonen I watched, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah. But yeah, Baka and Test, it's one of the first shows I watched, and probably like one of the first comedy anime I watched. It had me rolling a lot of the time. Like the characters are really funny. The gags are great. I like a lot of the fights. I don't know. I like the fights a lot, and like just the overall like feel of like I like the premise like like it has this like the school has like this hierarchy. And like depending on like what class you're in, it ranges from class A to class F. Class A is treated like royalty, and class F is treated like shit. Like they just bottom of the barrel, and like they're trying to work their way up to class A so they can be treated better. And it's really, and then like just like the character relationships are really great. Like Yoshi's a complete dumbass, but he has a crush on man. It's been a while since I've seen
No,
Baka.
bro. I'm trying to remember the characters here.
I remember Akihisa Yoshi. I remember his name because his name is Yoshi. There's Yoshi who has a crush on the pink girl.
Yeah,
then like Shimada, I think her name is, likes him, and it's like this love triangle, but it's not like overly dramatic or anything. It's played for a joke. And then like there's a lot of just fun characters in Baka and Test, and a lot of the situations they get into are really just a great time to watch. And even like season 2, which I don't remember watching too fondly, had like a great arc in like the bathhouse episode where the guys are like fucking around and they're trying to go to like the girls' side of the bathhouse.
Oh,
but
and,
like,
then
it's like
and then there's like a middle bath. for
there's like a middle. Yeah, and they're trying to like gather all their forces to like get through all the females. They're trying to get through all the female students, and they're trying to stop them from raiding it. It's just a fun time. I love Baka. I should rewatch Baka and Test. It doesn't age that bad, actually.
Yeah, I think it's still like holds up to like kind of modern anime. It still looks good.
Yeah. The thing about comedy in anime, I feel like I talked about this last time, like how like a lot of people remember like more seasonal, like a more comedy seasonal anime. Like people were still talking about Konosuba and Kaguya. Like I was talking to my friend about that. He said something I agree with. Comedy is just fucking funny forever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like good comedy just transcends like the seasonal stuff we have going on, because people are always gonna just be able to laugh at a good joke. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, Baka and Test is still like big in my mind, and as one of the first anime I watched, definitely I feel like put its spot on my 3x3. I think that's number 5.
Yeah.
Okay. Number 6 is Shirobako.
That's fire. That show's really good.
Shirobako is my favorite PA work show ever. I don't think they've made anything I like nearly as much as Shirobako, because I think they're making a movie soon.
Yes,
I believe.
Yes.
Okay, I'm very excited for that movie because I loved the original Shirobako. I didn't get all the references to like the real life like shows and people it was making, but I do remember when they just dead ass like this dude was just Hideaki Anno. It was just him in the show, and he was like helping the main girl out, like trying to help her out with like the animation. But I just love the premise of the show. I love reading about like how anime is made. It's so interesting to me, and seeing like a whole show. And, like a lot of people are like don't know about how anime is produced, and I think it's a great show to get people to like understand like how much of a struggle it is dead ass to like make a show. And I'm not saying it's like, oh, Shirobako is like identical to how anime is made or anything, because obviously, you know, like stuff in it. But like, I think it's a great show, even without like just the references and stuff like that. But I think it's a pretty amazing show that everyone should watch at least once if you like anime. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's cool.
Yeah, I'm not.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go.
Okay, so I think it's cool because it's very much like an animated documentary. It's super sick.
Yeah, I big agree.
It's an animated documentary, but it still has like, you know, that cutesy like kind of sort of slice of life stuff. It's really cool. It's definitely a fun show to watch.
Yeah, really cool show. And I like how every girl like represents like a different aspect of the production. Like, you know what I mean? Like the main girl is like helping out on like the behind the scenes, basically like trying to get everything like together in time. The red haired girl, the red haired girl. I remember her struggle specifically because like she's a voice actor and she's trying to get like a big role, but she's never quite able to land it until like toward the end, and it's great. I like I like the blue haired girl who's working on the animation team, and she's like constantly working with her peers to try and figure out like what's the best way to. It's just like, oh, I love Shirobako. I love it. It's just a fun show. It's very informative in my opinion.
Definitely.
So I'm almost. I got 3 more left. Number 7 is Fate Zero.
Yes.
Fate Zero. Fate Zero is the catalyst that launched me into Type Moon. And Mecha,
damn.
you know me. I am deep into Type Moon.
Yeah, you're
at this
actually
point.
so deep into it.
And the thing is, Fate Zero was the thing that started it all for me.
Okay.
I was not expecting to like Fate Zero and I ended up just watching it on a whim just because my friend was also into it, also into Fate at the time, and just like, hey, he's dead ass told me, hey, watch Fate Zero, and I was like, all right, I'll give it a shot. First episode was kind of boring as hell to me. Like I know it was like a setup episode, but it was like an hour long, and it was like, is this show gonna be like fun? But like it's a slow burn kind of show. But when it kicks things off, it really gets you engaged.
Yeah, I would say I would say so. Yeah.
Yeah. I was watching. No. What'd you say?
Oh, I was saying you're right. It's a slow burn, but once you hit the climax, then it's just rolling. It doesn't stop.
It literally does not stop. Yeah, big facts.
Yeah, like around episode 9 or 10.
Is that when they were like in the river and they're fighting cats?
No, that was like episode 12 when they're fighting.
No, yeah, that was the season finale.
Bro, I don't even remember the episodes. I just remember that fucking show was sick. And I
just remember the show just flowed together. It was pretty wild.
I think that was my first experience with Ufotable. And I was
really?
like, wow, this studio's insane.
So this is TV anime, deadass? So like a movie every episode. I was like, yo.
I don't know. Ufotable is truly overpowered, man.
Fate Zero was a while ago too, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And it still looks pretty good.
Okay, so Ufotable has always been super far ahead of every other studio, except for maybe KyoAni.
Yes.
It made me KyoAni and like okay, so this is upsetting to me, like because last episode I forgot to mention Trigger, and I was very upset because like I remembered how much I loved Triggered animation and just overall like, oh man, I was so upset that I didn't bring up Trigger.
We'll say Trigger for later. Okay. We're gonna say Trigger for later. Okay, we'll talk.
Are you two on the same team? I need Rachel. I need Rachel in here. You two are really on the same team.
Well, we'll talk about it. But okay, I am kind of like bringing this off rails a little bit, but I do want to talk about one of my points I made last week. So last week I said that Demon Slayer was the best looking TV anime I've ever seen. Right? Mm-hmm. I might have a contender for something that looks better. Have you ever seen Kyoukai?
Oh,
Hyoko's another KyoAni show, right?
Yeah, I think it's that show. It totally slipped my mind, but then I watched some clips of it. I'm like, oh my god, that's right. This show is so good looking. Holy shit!
Wait, what'd you say, D-Man?
No, I think that was like in 2012.
Yeah, it is once again another show that was just super far ahead in its time in terms of their animation quality. And
KyoAni is just amazing, bro. I don't know what else to tell you.
Ufotable have always been the two studios who have been at the very forefront of the anime like tech. You know?
Yeah, like I think like for like KyoAni, you can tell by the different shows that like they try to push because like Kyoka into Sound Euphonium is like it's similar jumps. Then you go to Violet Evergarden, there's like how is this
massive jump?
Yeah,
it's like how like you realize like how can this be not a movie?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
but I still think that in just terms of just pure like animation, like in terms of just like movement and things like that, I still think Demon Slayer is the best animated show I've ever seen. Just like
Yeah.
and how they animate action, which is I understand is a little bit unfair because of like Hyoukai is not a really an action and like movement based show, right?
Yeah.
It's more of like a mystery
Slice of life.
solving slice of life. Yeah. But I still think just the way that Ufotable in general just animates all the movement and in Kimetsu no Yaiba, I think it's fantastic.
Yeah.
Anyways, back to what we were
Fate
talking
Zero.
about. Fate Zero, yeah.
Yeah, so like you said, I think I was watching a Scamboli reviews video on Fate Zero, and he was talking about how Fate Zero like Stockholm syndromes you into like keep watching, see what happens next. I couldn't agree more. Zero, I don't know. Zero is just really really close to my heart, considering like the rabbit hole I jumped down because of it, and it's like even if you're not interested in anything Type Moon, it's still just a great show to watch. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like I could recommend someone Fate Zero, and they could just really love it. Like I haven't really met a person yet who likes a action anime and didn't like Fate Zero.
Mm.
And maybe I'll meet that person soon someday, but I don't
And
know.
then
and then you can
and
just
then
be
you-
like, you're wrong. You're just wrong.
Let me explain to you why you're incorrect. Anyway.
Okay,
And
did
then
you
you-
watch it when it was airing, or did you or did you?
No.
Okay.
I
was like
watched it after.
I can't imagine watching that show airing while it was airing.
No,
I would actually
you can't.
pull my hair out, like just waiting week after week.
You
watching for the
want to know a
show.
fun fact?
Hmm.
Well, okay, so this is a spoiler, another spoiler.
Okay.
So you know that scene, the Carrie backstory episode, the Kirisugu backstory episode.
yeah.
Yeah.
Want to know a fun fact? In Japan, that aired on Mother's Day.
That's fucked. That's fucked.
And if you remember what happens in that episode, that's really because it's really messed up.
God.
I hate Fate Zero.
That's fucked
Geta
up.
Rabuchi is a terrible person.
Oh,
bro.
I agree.
That's
Fuck
Man.
Gender man.
that's
Throw back to Madoka from last week. Throw back.
Madoka.
But yeah, people who aren't interested in reading a VN, which I think you still should read the Fate VN if you can. But if you're not interested in reading a VN, then Zero is a great introduction to the Fate franchise, in my opinion.
Oh,
but
I agree.
yeah,
I agree. It's pretty funny. I watched. I recently watched the it's an older Giga video about like getting into the Fate series, and he's like, all right, should I start with Zero? He's like, yes, but technically no.
yes, but no, yes, but
Zero,
no.
because Zero spoils
No.
unlimited
The worst-
blade works.
The worst part is he's correct. It
Yeah.
bothers me because the best way to get into Fate is reading the VN, but like a lot of people,
That's 100
a lot of
hours,
people
dog.
This stress face all over again.
yeah, we're not going into this right now.
Yeah, okay.
I hate going to that.
We'll say that for maybe later. We're gonna be talking about Type Moon a little bit later. But
Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about Type Moon anyway, but yeah.
okay.
Yeah, that's Fate Zero. I'm just gonna stop it there. I love Fate Zero. Please give it a watch.
Yeah, true.
I was tied on what to put on for the 8th slot, but I think I've decided to put Konosuba on the list just because I've had such a great time watching Konosuba with my friends. Like we had a session where like we would just watch the new Konosuba episodes every week and just have a great time laughing at the jokes and what dumbassery Kazuma got into with his party. And everyone knows about Konosuba by now. Like the how hilarious, like even the dub is great. I've heard.
Yeah,
And
that's
that-
great.
I'm not surprised by it, but it's just nice to hear. You know what I mean? It's
All right.
like
All right. Listen up.
What?
Listen up.
hot take. Listen up.
I think Konosuba is really overrated.
Oh my god.
I think it's really overrated. I'm gonna be real with you.
Why?
I do not.
Why?
I do not like that show one bit.
How?
Don't
No, I don't. I didn't think it was that funny.
Explain your thesis.
Okay, I did not think it was that funny. The jokes. I mean,
This
the jokes kind of get old after a little bit. I'm just like, okay, this is just kind of stupid. Okay, I understand it's like a subversion of the isekai genre, but regardless, I just don't like. I don't like how it just is in general.
At a certain point, I think
I also
being a
don't
subversion.
like how that show looks. I think Studio Dean is a fucking ugly ass studio.
You're not wrong.
I mean, I understand that might also be part of the joke, but I can still find it ugly, right?
Yeah.
I think I don't know. I just think that show, like, I understand why people like it. I don't.
No, like the way Studio Dean animates it suits Konosuba's style the best.
Yeah,
Because like,
it's
but like
very,
any other
it's
show,
very,
it's
very,
like,
very ugly, in my opinion.
I don't think it looks that ugly.
I just did not like that show one bit. Like I'm not gonna hate on people for who watched it. Obviously not. But personally, I am not a big fan of this show. I just think it's just, I don't know. I'd rather watch something else.
This is a very unbased take coming from you, Mecha. I'm very disappointed. Just kidding.
I mean, we
mind.
had to drop the hot take. I had to drop the hot take about Konosuba at some point because I just don't like it. I don't really don't.
Nah, man. Well, okay. Well, coming back from that, like, I think the characters are very fun to watch on screen. I think they have great chemistry when they're getting into dumb shit together. It's just a fun ride. Like, all the characters are pretty endearing, in my opinion. Eventually, like, everyone loves Megumin. Everyone loves Megumin. I think Darkness is the most slept on character in the cast, and
Megumin's
then there's
overrated.
Aqua. What'd you say?
Megumin's overrated.
Ooh, okay,
Another hot take.
Let me hear
I
this
don't.
take.
I'd never. Okay, when I first started watching Konosuba, everyone's hyping up Megumin. It's like, okay, I watched it. It's like, she's fine. I don't get the hype.
Okay, but
I still get
why
the-
do you think that she's overrated though? Like,
I just don't get the hype.
Do you like another girl in comparison to her, or do you just not like her?
I don't like. Listen, Megumin's fine. She's a good character, but like,
You don't get where people are coming from.
I just don't get it. Why does everyone like Megumin? It's explosions. Is there fact she's a lolly?
okay, I actually do agree with you on this take.
I mean, of course you agree. You don't like Konosuba in general.
No, okay, no, okay. But that's another thing that I think that's like really overrated. It's just that like especially Megumin. I mean, I don't want like I feel that because I don't get the hype, right? It's just like, oh, I yell explosions, haha. I pass out, haha. I don't know,
It's
man.
like,
Am I missing something here, or is like there's some like deeper story to this character? Like, what is it?
All right,
Deeper story? Why are you looking for a deeper story in a comedy anime?
Why do people like her? Is it literally just because she's cute girl in a show? Is that why?
Is it that way?
Mecha, I feel like you watch a lot of shows like that and end up liking them anyway. I don't know what else to tell you.
Oh wait. No, but also like
You like a lot of cute girls in a show, and there's
okay,
not much else to them.
but okay.
It's very interesting.
The cute girls that I like in a show, they don't receive the same hype as Megumin, right?
Yeah.
Well, again, the thing about comedy, well, number one, comedy is still subjective. So if it's a type of comedy you don't like, that's fine.
Yeah.
I'll understand where you're coming from. Number two is that like as I said before, comedy is like sometimes elevates things to just a different level. You know what I mean? Like people might really like Megumin just because of because
she's funny,
just how she gels with the rest of the cast. People might really like what she does, like the explosion thing. A lot of people just really genuinely enjoy that, and I don't know. It's just really fun watching these cast of characters just fuck around on screen, and if the type of comedy in Konosuba ain't for you, it ain't for you, I guess. But
Wait.
It was for me. It was for me, and
Wait,
I really enjoyed it. And
Yeah.
I think.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Oh, you know what else it is though, Mecha? A lot of people, like I mentioned this last week as well. Like a lot of people were just fucking tired of like the same old power fantasy isekai bullshit, like coming out because of SAO, as I mentioned. And like when Konosuba came out, people were just expecting the same thing from Konosuba, especially the premise. And it's like, oh, the gimmick this time is that he brings the goddess with him. Wow, crazy. But then it turned out to be this like hilarious show, and no one was expecting that at all. It like turned out to be like this hilarious show that like wasn't really a power fantasy at all. It's just like a group of 4 friends fucking around in this fantasy world in this parody of a light novel.
It was literally like a
parody
Dungeons and Dragons campaign in an anime.
Yeah, kind of. But yeah, Konosuba is definitely still on my 3x3 just because of the memories it gave me.
I get it, but I could not get past like 3 episodes.
All right, wait. I need to tell you guys something first, still about Megumin. Okay, so basically, our anime does every year does a best girl contest, And basically, like, ever since, like, girls from Konosuba has been allowed to enter the contest,
They've
Megumin has
been
always...
winning.
No. Megumin has always been top 4.
Amazing.
It's like top 4 season, like, and every single year she has lost to Holo from Spice and Wolf.
Damn! As she should! As she should!
And,
Hollow is a great girl.
Did Spice Wolf get like another season like recently?
No.
Did it?
No.
That's
It hasn't gone. No, it hasn't. It's just funny that every single
Hollow
year.
just stay goated then. That's crazy.
Yes. Holo's like, every year it's like, oh, the new girls are coming in. And it's like, all of a sudden, Hollow makes like top 8.
Good. Hollow
That's really funny.
is actually just so good. Man, Spice Wolf's such a good anime, man. I might have to rewatch that show too. Fuck.
And also, no girl from Konosuba had won the contest yet.
Interesting. All right, sorry. Let's continue on your 3x3.
I think that was number 8, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. So my last anime on my 3x3 is The Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya.
You're actually a boomer, bro.
It wasn't that long ago, at least from my perspective.
Yeah,
it wasn't that long ago.
It really wasn't. It was like what, 2011 Haruhi?
Yeah,
bro. When I got into Haruhi, I feel like, you know what? I feel like Haruhi is like the last remnant of the old anime scene. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like one of the last things, because like, at least in my opinion, because like after Haruhi, like after I watched Haruhi, there's not really shows like Haruhi. You know, it's like very representative of that era of anime. It's like the icon of that
definitely
that era. Because like there's a lot of people, like when I recommend it to them, they watch it and they call it like they say they liked it, but it's kind of like, you know, bare in comparison to a lot of shows like kind of like it. But the thing is, Haruhi was like one of the like originators of that like type of meta show. Like Haruhi's a very meta show, you know, like the whole gimmick is that like, oh, she thinks she wants alien time travel and espers to exist, and she thinks she's secretly God, but there are aliens and time travelers and espers exist, but she is secretly God, and that's like the whole fucking, it's a meta commentary. And the thing about Haruhi is that like, I also think it's like the light novel it's adapted from, right?
Yeah.
Like the whole point is that like it's basically just a parody of like the whole like light novel thing, like the superpowered humans in the high school basically, and it takes that but removes like some of the darker elements that like, okay, so do you know like this Faust? You know what Faust is?
Faust?
I think I have like Faust is like the what?
I mean, from Guilty Gear?
No, not from Guilty Gear.
we on different wavelengths right here.
I have this book that's called Faust, and it has like, it contains like a lot of light novel authors that like had like the older light novel style. You know what I mean? Like the Boogie Pop Phantoms, the Karno Kyokais, the Kino's Journeys. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the older light novel style. And Haruhi basically like takes that and it like basically removes like the darker elements, like the supernatural horror type elements from those shows. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it like just takes that away and like had characters that didn't take themselves too seriously. And the storyline is just really fun. And it's poking fun at a lot of those stories. And it, a great joke is that like the Haruhi characters are like, they basically act like tropes, but they're also just, they're just pretending, and they're like actually like multi-layered, interesting characters with their own stuff going on, and it's great.
Oh, I was about to say, so like Saikano, but those characters are literally just living tropes. But
yeah,
I hate Saikano.
Oh, okay.
Is that a hot take? I just don't like Saikano. I don't know if
that's a hot take, but
it's people like Saikano.
I like Saikano, man. I like that show.
I like the MC of Saikano, but I don't.
That's why I like the show. The MC carries that show so hard.
I mean, that's
real last man in an anime.
That's kind of just like whatever. I don't know.
Like Devin, why you acting like a tsundere?
Yeah. Literally. Okay, anyways.
Why are you doing your tsundere act? You get it? Because she's literally just a tsundere. Isn't that? No, it's not funny.
I don't know, man. Okay.
It's like,
Okay, it's really weird, right? Because that's like the same kind of like comedy that like Konosuba is, but I didn't find Konosuba funny, but I found Seikano funny
yeah.
for whatever reason.
But I don't know. But I find Konosuba funnier than Seikano.
Hell yeah, let's go, D-Man. Yes, sir.
Okay, anyways, sorry. Back to Haruhi.
But yeah. As I was saying, I talked about Haruhi, and then like there's Haruhi's interesting because like I feel like it was the first anime that really inspired like all of these other shows to like do the meta thing. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like now every show has like the meta joke, like, oh, like you just fucking like the thing we talked about in Saikano, like, stop doing your tsundere act. Oh, she's actually a tsundere. Get it? We're calling attention to the joke. Or like Mecca, we were talking about the mommy Sakai last week, right? Remember in the mommy Sakai, my friend told me about this joke, like unironically, when he was watching the show. Like the guy walks in on one of the girls bathing, mommy Sakai, and he's like, "This is the part where you slap me," or whatever. And it's like, you know what? No, I'm not gonna slap you. And the joke is that she doesn't slap him, and she runs away from the room crying. And it's just like, great. You called attention to the joke. You did it.
You explained the joke.
Congrats.
Yeah, you explained. It's not funny. It's not funny. And like, I feel like all of these shows are just doing the meta thing wrong. They're just like, we should do this meta thing too. And it's just like, okay, whatever. But yeah, like the other show that like does meta really well is Bake Monogatari, like the Monogatari series in general.
Yes,
it does meta really well.
I love it.
But I feel like a lot of shows just don't get it. They just don't understand like what made those kinds of shows great. And Haruhi's like the show that basically like set the trend for that kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
For better or for worse.
Yeah, but like for me, like the issue with Haruhi is basically like when I watched like the TV anime, it was like I felt it was fine. Then I watched the movie, it was like, damn, Haruhi's like top 10 series of all time.
Oh no, the movie is amazing.
Okay,
it's still one of my favorite movies.
I think Disappearance might be one of the best anime movies.
But the thing is, you can't just watch Disappearance.
You can't.
You
have to watch the show.
Yeah.
You need to watch the show, or else it won't be nearly as good.
Yeah, just like when I watched after watching Disappearance, I felt a more appreciation for what Haruhi did from the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's the point, right? It's meant to be like a good, like just a good closure for closure. Is that the right word?
Closure?
It's not really a closure because we don't know what's behind the door.
Yeah, okay. It's meant to just be a good extra content for people who love Melancholy. But you need to watch Melancholy in order to fully understand like how good Disappearance is.
Yeah, you even need to sit through Endless 8.
Wait.
I PTSD.
I remember watching Haruhi with one of my friends, and I had to leave, and I told them skip to Endless 8. I was like, no, I don't. I could watch all of it, and then they got mad at me for saying, why you make me watch all of it? I told you to skip it.
I told you to skip it,
No,
bro.
I don't think you should skip Endless 8. I think Endless 8.
You can. You can watch like the first episode. You can only watch it 3 times. 3 times. 3 times. The first episode, like another episode, and like the final episode, and you get the point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I remember that shit, man.
Nah, I didn't. I remember like I was on. Okay, so I watched Haruhi on YouTube when I was younger.
Yeah.
I was just like that was back in the days when like you know you would watch like something like Bleach and like part 1 of 3, episode 7. That was back in those days. But someone uploaded like whole ass Haruhi episodes, and I was like on Ja. I might as well just watch Haruhi now. And I was like, I think it was in middle school at the time. Or whatever. I was in like middle school at the time, and I was watching Haruhi on YouTube, and I got to season 2, right? And I was like, okay, what's going on in season 2? What's popping up? Endless 8. I was like, okay, I watched the first episode. Kyon-kun, Danwa, they go to the beach. Yuki's like, we've been here this amount of times. It's like, oh, well,
What?
well,
What?
that's
What?
crazy. I watched season 2. I was like, wait, is this the same thing? I go to episode 3. It's the same thing. How long does this go on for? At this point, I'm just watching the openings to see if like anything changed, and I like skim through the episodes. I'm like, what is happening? Did they like mess up? And then I noticed, no, they didn't mess up. Their clothes are different. What's happening? What's literally what's going on? I was so confused as a middle schooler. I couldn't comprehend what I was watching. I was literally going through a mental crisis as a middle schooler. Like, what is going on? Who's doing this? And then I remember I finally got to that last episode of the Endless Eight. And like I was skimming through it just for the last time I was skimming through the episode. I'm like, is something gonna change? And I got to the ending and like I was like, wait, this is kind of different. And Kyon finally stops her. And I was like, oh my god.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kyon.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kyon. You've done it. You've solved season 2. And I remember I didn't like season 2 nearly as much as season 1. I don't know what the hell they were thinking. But
The endless.
and I don't know what they were thinking. Like the person directing horror, he was a
So did you know that the first season actually have you heard about the first season, how they like aired it?
They aired it out of order.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's so whack,
I know,
man.
no, but the thing is, like, the last episode of Haruhi season, I don't know if you remember it, but it's like this is really like laid back, calm episode, and it doesn't really feel like a climax to an anime. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
it's like, well, what the hell? So they were like, let's put like because episode 6 is like where the last episode is in like the wrong airing, right?
Yeah.
So like they put episode 6, which is like the scene where like everything goes down. They put it in the last episode, and it makes it feel like a lot more like, it makes it feel like a lot more like a finale to the show.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that's why they did it out of order, because it's like you're gonna get to like the scene. You're gonna get to the episode where the whole episode is just in the club room, and like there's just shit going on like outside and inside. Yuki's just reading a book. You're like, well, what the fuck was the ending to this show? So it's gonna feel really. I get why they did. At the same time, it's just like, well,
like,
it's stupid.
Why not just make that the last episode? Like what? Why not?
Because I think it's because of the way they were adapting the light novel. Yeah. I think that's why.
Okay, probably.
I think that's definitely the reason. But yeah, it's Haruhi's such a weird show, man.
It is.
I don't know,
but it's definitely worth a watch for people who haven't seen it.
Yeah,
it is definitely worth a watch. Not only just because it's a great show overall, but just it's one of the classics. It's one of the hood classics,
Yeah. Like even other shows, they do similar stuff from it. Like Endless Eight. Fuck you, Buddy Girl Senpai.
Oh shit!
I've not seen Bunny Girl Senpai, but I've heard it's just Haruhi or whatever.
Yeah, okay, that show is literally like
it's a
Haruhi and like kind of
Monogatari.
Yeah, and Monogatari put together. But that show's really good.
Yeah,
that's interesting.
Good. It's still good.
I might give it a shot someday.
Definitely should. You'd probably
this one. Yeah, it's top 15.
For you?
Yeah.
It's funny because like I looked at that show, I'm like, this is gonna be some trash shit.
Yeah, trash.
Some fucking
garbage.
Trash, like ecchi shit. This girl is literally walking around in a fucking bunny suit. That's so fucking dumb. And then I watched it, and I'm like, wow,
this is good.
I'm just wrong.
I guess I was wrong.
It takes a very special kind of anime.
You got Made in Abyss.
Yeah.
you got Made in Abyss for the second time.
Yeah, literally. I looked at Made in Abyss like, dude, this is some like cutesy bullshit, man. No. Then
it went on, and then I think it went on to win Anime of the Year.
Yeah.
You were like, what?
I was like, what the fuck? This show is that good?
Nah, Made in Abyss, go! Little did you know.
God.
Yo, I need to watch that. But then again, like, Made in Abyss is weird because like I hear it's good, but I was like, I can't really handle like gore.
Oh, I said the same thing. Last week when we were talking about Made in Abyss.
But D-Man, you should just watch the last episode when it comes out. I don't think it's out yet, right?
The last episode of Made in Abyss, I think.
No. I'm talking about of the podcast.
Oh, sorry. Yeah,
because we did talk about Made in Abyss.
Yeah. So last week's episode we did talk about Made in Abyss. So if you want to talk about like recommendations and like you want to hear someone try to sell Made in Abyss to you, you should just go watch last week's episode.
Yeah.
I'll watch it eventually.
I can explain why the violence is fun.
Yeah.
No, it's just weird because like I normally can't really handle violent shows, but like Attack on Titan is like one of my favorite anime of all time. It does make sense.
I mean, honestly, I don't think Attack on Titan is like that violent in comparison.
It's not that.
I think Made in Abyss is a lot more realistic violence. I guess.
Yeah, that's probably why.
I guess it can make you kind of squeamish. I guess I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my anime 3x3 in comparison to my manga 3x3. So yeah.
Right. Well, I didn't have any like glaring problems with it. Maybe you said Konosuba. I mean, but that's whatever. I mean,
but you just don't like Konosuba.
I just don't like Konosuba. Personally. You know, but yeah. Okay, so that's his 3x3. We're gonna move on to the next topic here. So, D-Man, do you know who Tsukasa Fujimi is?
Oh boy.
I looked it up. I was like, wait, is this the right person?
Because we're gonna talk about the light novel author Tsukasa Fujimi. For those of you who don't know, Tsukasa Fujimi is very well known for, I believe it's a guy, right? I don't even know. I think it's a guy.
It's definitely a guy.
If it's a girl, then wow, that's wild. But he is very well known. He has two well known works. I think his other stuff is like very like under the rug stuff. It is Oremo and Eromanga Sensei. Okay.
God.
So I originally it's a bit of background. I did watch Oremo back when I didn't watch when it was airing, but it was one of like the first few anime I watched, like in like the first 50 anime I watched. Somewhere along the
50.
Yeah, one of the first 50 anime I've ever watched. Okay. And I was like, this is weird. This is kind of dumb. I watched the whole thing. I watched like the ending. Like for anyone who doesn't know, like the ending is shit. It's absolute garbage. I felt like I wasted my time. Similar to like Tower of God last episode.
Similar to how a lot that people felt about Nisekoi.
Okay.
Very interesting that you feel that way. Mecca. No. Before we go on, let me ask you a question.
Okay, yeah, go.
While you were watching Nisekoi, were you a Chitoge fan?
Of course.
That explains everything I need to know. Everything I need to know.
Okay, how does it? Okay, go ahead. Yeah,
because I feel like Oremo, one of the only ways you can like Nisekoi's ending is if you liked Chitoge. That is one of the only ways, bro.
Chitoge's best skill though, so like, what's the issue?
Oh my god.
That's what bro. A lot of people just. Okay.
Chitoge's best girl. I don't see the issue.
Okay. That's different. Okay. This one, it literally just took the whole. Literally
threw it away.
Okay. They took all the progression of a character and they said goodbye. Well, Nisekoi didn't necessarily do that. They took the premise of the show and went goodbye.
So are we just skipping over? Are you just skipping over everything and talking about Oriemo's ending?
I mean, no. I think that was
I
mean, do you have another problem with Oremo and Eromanga Sensei besides that?
I just think like Oriemo is just pretty bad overall.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't know.
I agree.
Like it's not even like I feel like the ending is just the cake on top of why I don't. I'm not gonna say it's like bad because I know a lot of people have found like appreciation in Oremo because like Oremo genuinely has like themes. Eromanga Sensei doesn't really have themes.
What themes? Like
the whole like one of the things about Oremo is like it's talking about like how hard it is to be like an otaku and have it like because you know that episode with like Kirino and her Kirino and what's the main character's name?
Oh, Kyosuke.
Yeah, not even just like their dad, like because you know their dad didn't approve of that anime shit or whatever,
yeah.
Right? Like not even just their like also ISA as you said. Yeah. So it's like it's also like Oriemo's also talking about like how like you know how hard it is to like be a fucking otaku and like you know just like having people like get it and like not feel like a fucking piece of shit for liking it, I guess, or being into that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like that's like an overarching thing it has and like just otaku culture in general. Like it's a lot of it's one of those shows that like it's kind of similar to Lucky Star in that regard because after Haruhi blew up, Like a lot of shows like would reference just otaku culture in general. Like Lucky Star blew up, was one of the biggest anime of its like era. And then like a lot of shows followed. A lot of shows just started talking about otaku culture and bringing in like that kind of stuff up. Orium was one of them, right? And I feel like that's why a lot of people like kind of liked it at the time. But I was actually just watching like a video about Oreimo, and it was talking about like another theme of Oreimo is like liking the things you like, but in moderation. You know what I mean?
As every good human should do.
Like I don't really get it, but it
makes sense.
Yeah, you know,
it makes sense when you like look back at Oreimo and you're like, that's fair.
Now that you talk about like yeah, sure, it does talk about those themes, but like it just like
it doesn't do them well.
I know it doesn't do them well, and it kind of just throws those themes out in favor of this really trashy like sibling romance. It's so stupid.
Incest is wincest.
It's so
bro.
dumb.
As a person who has like siblings, incest is like the worst thing ever to me.
Oh, trust me.
I fucking hate incest.
I don't like it.
The term incest is wincest is like my least favorite thing ever, bro. It's very cringe. It's gross. It's really gross. I hate that shit, bro. And I think you know what the most painful part of Oreimo probably was to a lot of people. It's not the fact that he chose his sister. It's like that's probably one of the worst parts. But it's not fully the fact that he chose his sister. It's the characters he like broke up with along the way. You know what I mean? Like just like denying them to get to his sister.
Oh my god!
You know what I mean? Like he rejected all of them to date his sister.
Oh my god, man!
Like he broke up with Kuroneko. She was crying. She broke the thing, and it's like you did this for your sister. It's like, bro.
It's like, congrats, man. Congrats. Good shit, man. I must applaud you.
For degenerate.
I think that's definitely like the thing that breaks a lot of these. You wasted my time. I feel like a lot of people felt when they finished Oreimo. I feel like a lot of people just felt like you just wasted my time. Why did I watch this shit?
Love how they like Crunchyroll. They just took that last episode off. They only have 23 episodes in the second season.
You know what's
that
funny?
24th episode is just gone. It's gone. It's off the site.
You know what's funny? I couldn't like when I was first hearing about like Oreimo and like when it was perceived as like a good show. When people like genuinely kind of I guess liked it, I wasn't really on that train. I watched like Oreimo like with my friends as like a joke, whatever. But like when we were like looking for it, was like first season was not on Crunchyroll, like dead ass. Oreimo season 2 was on Crunchyroll, but we couldn't find Oreimo season 1 on Crunchyroll for the life of us, and we couldn't understand why. So we had to pirate.
Ahoy!
Yeah, ahoy. Kiss anime, here we come. But anyway, but yeah, we couldn't. Yeah. But I didn't know it was just like the last episode taken off of Crunchyroll, just dead ass. I did not know that. Really funny in context, though.
Do you have any thoughts about Eromanga Sensei?
Well, okay. Well, before we go into Eromanga, what are your feelings, both of you? Because I already said my piece.
I think at one time I did kind of just enjoy it as like just like turn my brain off, watch it as like you know that I've watched that. Sometimes I just watch shows for the sake of watching them. But
you told me.
Yeah, but now after watching it, after quote unquote maturing as an anime fan, I'm just like, what is this shit, man? It's horrid. It's actually bad.
It's really
like I recently tried to like group watch it with a couple of my friends, and we couldn't get past the first episode. I watched the first episode. I'm like, nah, this ain't it, Chief. This actually just ain't it at all. Definitely not.
Man.
I can never.
Like if Rachel,
you haven't seen it. You haven't seen it, D-Man. D-Man, have you seen it?
I never saw Oreimo, and I don't plan it.
That's probably a good thing.
I don't plan on watching because I don't that type of stuff. So I don't like. For some reason, I fairly enjoyed watching Eromanga Sensei at the time.
Okay. Just one last thing about Oremo. I really wish Rachel was here because she was one of the friends I watched it with.
Oh, maybe. Okay, if Rachel comes back, do you want to bring Oremo back up?
maybe.
'Cause I do have a bit more to say about it if she does come.
Okay. But yeah, it's just I don't know, man. It's just like really poorly done, and like I just think I don't understand why Tsukasa Fujimi is so popular, man. Maybe it's just popular because the Japanese love their emoto characters. Or
I
mean,
can't.
Emo made like the emoto character like a staple.
Yeah, I did.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Because that shit was huge when it was airing. Actually, it was.
Yeah,
it like
cool.
yeah, a lot of like it had just success. Like it was just that's another thing. It was like another like it was another one of those like meta shows. You know what I mean? Like, oh, the joke here is that like I guess the joke early on was like there's the little sister character, but she likes little sisters in eroges or something like that.
Yeah.
And it's like I guess that was like the meta joke, but there's also the fact that like Kirino was like a lot of the little sister archetypes in anime are like really cutesy, like "Good morning, Oni-chan" and stuff like that.
Yeah,
but Kirino's like Kirino's insufferable.
She's just
insufferable. She's just and it's like, I know a lot of people whose sisters are kind of like that too. They just don't like their sisters. They just don't like their sisters, and I'm like, But then like, and then Digibro, I remember he made a joke about in his videos like, "You want to get back at her? You shack up with her hot goth friend." And it's like, yeah. But then he also was like, but maybe maybe the show isn't as self-aware as I once thought because he like And the worst part is like him and Kuroneko's relationship is genuinely good.
Yeah, it really was. But haha, gotta give him a little sister. Ha 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 ha. Can't just be a regular older brother. And then they throw it away at the end anyway. So like, what the fuck? What's the point?
As I stated before,
These motherfuckers.
Waste of time.
These motherfuckers. Ring. Put on a ring.
Why? No.
The biggest waste of time that everyone saw coming.
Oh my god! They literally had a marriage ceremony.
Did they?
On a ring.
Yes, they did.
They had a marriage ceremony.
Wait. Was this also in the last episode?
This is the last episode. I don't know if you saw this. Okay, Ash, have you never seen the last episode of Oremo?
No.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you how it is.
I've only seen season 1 because remember the group watch I was talking about. I've only seen season 1, and then we like watched like an OVA or two, like the Kuroneko OVA or whatever. And then we got to season 2. We couldn't stand it, so we dropped it.
All right, listen up. This is what happens.
No, I know what happens, but I didn't know about this wedding ceremony shit.
That's what I'm talking about. They literally go to a fucking chapel, okay? It's so, like, uncomfortable to watch, too. It's just... Because, you're just like, why? Okay? They go to a chapel. They fucking put rings on each other. They fucking say their vows. They fucking kiss, okay? And then
God.
And then it fades to white, and the next day, it's them fucking taking the rings off and saying, we're gonna go back to being brother and sister. And I'm like, why? Why? Why did I watch this season? Why did I watch this show?
My god.
Okay, listen. You abandoned the whole themes of your show to pursue this romance. At the end, you say, haha, psych.
It wasn't even a good romance to begin.
Psych.
They say, psych, got you guys, haha.
You thought we were going to be deep for a second.
And the thing about the romance is it's with his, as we continue to reiterate, it is with his sister. It is with his sister.
I'm done talking about Oremo, man. I'm done.
We can. Now we can move on to Arrow manga.
No. We don't have to talk about it.
I watched 3 episodes of that shit. It's garbage. It's
even worse. It's even worse than Oremo.
Yeah, it's actually so bad. It's just so shit.
At least Oremo had themes. Like at least some, and the characters were at least. There's a reason Oremo is popular. I feel like because at least there were some things to latch on to. I feel like Arrow manga is just
bad.
Just bad.
Listen, you know what? I couldn't even get to 3 episodes in that show. I dropped it at 2.
I watched every single episode.
Oh my god!
I watched
weekly.
You watched it weekly? Okay, go ahead. Explain. No.
Wait, D-Man, you watched the show? Watched? You watched the whole thing?
Yes. Okay, listen. Okay.
Listen up.
Okay, okay. I was watching it weekly. It's like, oh, it's a secret. Oh, I don't like this type of stuff. It's like, why do I find it entertaining? It's trash. I was talking to my boy Derek. It's like he watched it and he knows it's trash, but he's just enjoying the ride. It's like,
What? Like, what?
No.
You
How
wanna-
do you enjoy a ride like that, bro? That's a ride you want to hop off
See,
of.
that's a ride
Listen.
I hopped off at the start, man. I'm like, fuck
No,
yeah.
I wouldn't. I will never rewatch it. But like, I'll never rewatch it. Did I enjoy it at the time watching it? Probably. Will I rewatch it as I am right now? I would never watch it. I would never
You
touch
never
it.
watch it again.
I would never watch it with a 12-foot pole.
I think a ton of people have torn into this show like a lot already.
It's not good.
It's not a good show. Like
It's not good. It's
at least
terrible.
like there were at least like I feel like Orimo had like people did like characters like Kuroneko
Okay.
and like that kind of thing, but like
It's not good. The characters.
in Arrow manga, the characters just feel like they were just had tropes like slapped onto them, and they just have one like dumb gimmick. You know, like okay, Meko, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah, I do.
someone like Elf Yamada. She's proud. She's like a
Really eccentric and quirky.
She's eccentric and quirky. She's like a proud Ojo, someone I guess,
Yeah.
like, combined with a tsundere. Like you just slapping tropes onto it,
Dude,
and
all
then
the
like
characters in that
her
show are
eccentric.
Tsundere.
Yeah, exactly. And then like just her eccentric part in her thing is like, oh, she's also a nudist, and it's like, okay, well that's fine, I guess.
Oh,
Whatever
okay.
the fuck.
Oh, she's a nudist. Oh shit, but she's like 10
Wow.
years old. Uh-oh.
Fuck.
Man.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
facts, D-man.
That pretty much summarizes what I think about the show. It's just fuck.
Like
man.
I think the worst part is like I feel like they would like it's like they could do something like, oh my gosh, he's writing things. I can't wait to learn about like the creative process of like what
No.
it, because I was like maybe maybe it's like a little bit like Bakuman. You get to see like because Bakuman like
Oh
like
my God.
the not Bakugan Bakuman.
Yeah, Bakuman.
Bakuman.
There's
Yes, I
a
know.
very clear difference.
I know the difference.
But no, it doesn't go into that at
No,
all.
it's
He's just
absolutely
writing the shit, like, and his little sister draws. I haven't even gotten into like Sagiri and how much I don't like her. And I don't like the main characters. I just don't like any of the characters. I don't like any of them.
Yeah, there's actually zero likable characters in that show. Absolutely none.
No.
Zero.
There's no
Like, the
zero
thing-
reason to
that's
watch it.
That's the thing. At least Emo like had characters you could latch onto.
Yeah,
I guess.
like-
But like
It had like Saori was a good character. Kuroneko was a good character.
even MC was a good character at
Yeah,
times.
Kyosuke was good until
he did the most irrational
until
thing
he
possible.
fell until he fell to the dark side. But
Yeah.
he was the
And
chosen
then,
one.
but nah, I don't like Sagiri. A lot of the
Dude,
like
the main
a lot of the
character in this show in fucking Eremanga Sensei is actually such a beta.
No, he's weird. He's
It's
weird.
so
He's
whack.
also weird as hell. Like there's no arc with him at all. He just wants kind of just to get with his sister. It's weird as hell.
It's weird.
But don't worry, bro. They're not blood related.
Oh, I was about to say.
Don't worry.
I was about to say.
They're not blood related or whatever.
There's that asterisk where they're not blood related. Ooh, pog.
What am I playing? Fire Emblem Fates again, bro? What's going on?
No. You don't even play Fire Emblem Fates.
Oh my God.
Yes, I did.
Don't play the
You
game.
just don't play. You just don't. Play
Unfortunately, I did. Unfortunately,
I played
did
it
play
3
Fire
times.
Why?
Oh,
I played
no,
it.
All the rounds.
I played it. No, I played the game once. It's like this game's trash.
Okay, well, you're spitting. But at least Conquest has good gameplay. Am I right, fellas?
Yeah, man.
I halfway through Conquest was like, why am I playing this game? It's trash.
The story sucks. The characters suck. The story sucks. It's like, man.
But at least it's Fire Emblem, right? Haha.
No.
But-
I spent
yeah.
$25 on Revelation. I want my money.
Ooh.
I actually
You mean
my money
Mario
back.
Party minigame, the strategy?
Wait, I accidentally paid full price for Conquest. But I bought
you
first
bought
price.
the game twice?
Yes.
Oh my.
Wait, you didn't like do like the thing where it's like
I
cost
do-
less if you bought one game.
I was planning. No. The girl. It was a girl at GameStop screwed me over.
Yeah, fuck
Ow,
you.
ow,
No. Sorry. EV Games.
Oh yeah,
Mechanism.
EV Games. Canada. You're right. Fuck EV Games. Fuck
EV Games suck.
Yeah, true.
Thank you.
But if EB Games was sponsored episode, I didn't say that.
I don't think they're gonna. I don't think they're gonna
games.
sponsor us after that.
I still buy all my games from EB Games.
Yeah, that's facts. But your employees are kind of scammers sometimes, I will say.
Yeah.
But that back to Eromanga Sensei.
What else is there to say?
I don't know. I
don't watch the show.
It's bad.
Oh my god!
It's like, once again, I don't understand how that show is popular. I think people just watched it just because they're saying, "Haha."
No, because yeah, that's exactly the thing. And then Giga did his thing, like, this show is trash, and it's like, okay, thanks, Eromanga, since he's trash.
It's
trash. We get it.
It's like, it's so trash.
Bad,
you have to watch
bad.
it. But I'm like, I disagree.
It's not even. It's not even so bad. It's good. It's just like bad.
It's just bad. But like Daniel said, like, why am I joining this? Because it's bad.
I will say though, I did watch like Best Guy Ever. I think it was Best Guy Ever and Digibro's like video series, like losing their minds while watching it, and it was very funny to like watch people watch it. I guess, but like don't watch it on your own. Yeah, like don't even just watch it like unironic. Just don't even watch it ironically.
If you ever watch it, it's just like you're probably like. You're watching it for content or something. There's like no good reason to watch.
Oh no, just like get views, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
Get views. Chase that bag.
It's dumb. It's stupid. Don't
chase the bag.
Tsukasa Fujimi, fuck you. Fuck you.
Some people find value in our emo. Do not like the rest of it.
I don't like any of Tsukasa Fujimi's works, and I don't think I ever will.
You should be putting your time into something a lot better.
Definitely.
Yeah.
This ain't it. This ain't it.
And it really
this ain't it, Chief.
At all.
Ain't it, Chief?
All right. On to the next topic. So recently in the anime community, there's a lot of news concerning Fate.
Type of Moon. Type of Moon.
So let's talk about Tsukihime. For those of you who don't know, Tsukihime is, I believe it was Type Moon's first visual novel, right? It came before.
Yes, it was their first visual novel.
It was their.
So for context.
Okay, go ahead. I'll let the Type Moon head talk.
Oh no! Actually, no. You keep going. I'll just say.
Okay. So Tsukihime is their first visual novel. It came before Fate Stay Night and kind of establishes the Nasu-verse, right? Pretty much.
No, Kara no Kyoukai established a lot of the Nasu-verse, but in terms of visual novels, you're right.
It created it, but like Kara no Kyoukai kind of sort of tied everything together, right?
Kara no Kyoukai was like the first. Like I think Kara no Kyoukai was the first Type Moon work, if I believe. Okay. I believe correct. But like, Kara no Kyoukai is the thing that established like a lot of like the stuff in Type Moon. I think like officially at least. And then, like, Tsukihime, like, extended that stuff.
Okay. As a Type Moon fan, so recently they announced that Fate Extra, which is a PSP game, is getting a remake. Before the Tsukihime visual novel remake is getting any more information. So, Astral, as a Type Moon head...
You want me to explain?
Yeah, go ahead. I want you to just talk about this. Give me your thoughts.
Okay, so... As a person who has read all of the routes, and I actually like gone through a decent amount of the sequel to get to tell you. I'm pretty. Oh man, my friend, there's this dude. Okay, my friends are pretty disappointed because they're Tsukihime fans and they're just like, well, shit. A lot of them are also Fate fans. But man, there's this guy on Twitter who like he got 2 L's in a like.
Oh, was that guy?
Kohaku Dori.
Yeah, Andrew. Yeah,
Andrew got cucked.
I actually know that guy.
Andrew got hoed twice.
Yeah.
He's like, there's no way they would make a Fate Extra remake before the Tsukihime remake got announced, right? Like, happened twice in a row, bro. Take these L's. He's like, and he's also like, there's no way SMT5 would get news before Tsukihime, right?
That's so sad.
I don't know, bro. In my opinion, I took 2 W's that week. Like, I got SMT news, bro. I got Tsukihime news. I mean, not Tsukihime. I got Fate Extra news.
Yeah,
I got
you didn't get any Tsukihime news.
I didn't get any Tsukihime news, but I'm booling. I don't know. I'm booling.
Are you out here taking dubs, man?
The thing is, I do like Fate as well, so it's not like a total loss or anything.
Okay,
but yeah.
So can you like kind of explain why that's like really frustrating as someone who likes? Do you like? Are you a big Tsukihime fan? I don't know. I don't know what.
I love Tsukihime.
Okay,
like the thing about Tsukihime is that like when people like go like when they read Fate and they go back to Tsukihime, they're like it's a noticeable step down in quality. You know what I mean? Because it was their first VN. It's a lot older than Fate, like the original VN, and it's like a big step. Like there's only like 12 audio tracks, and they like loop. They're like if you read May, it's like you'll hear an audio track and it just ends, and then there's just silence until the track starts again. That's how old it is. That's how like kind of dated it is. But the thing about Tsukihime, the story and characters are very good. Mm-hmm. Like Tsukihime was like the first Type Moon thing, but it also like it's like not as much as Fate did, but it was still very popular. That's what I've heard. Anyway, yeah, Tsukihime. It's pretty frustrating because people don't really appreciate Tsukihime as much as Fate. Well, obviously that's fair because Fate's a lot more exposed.
Yeah,
has way more exposure.
Way more.
A lot of people were introduced to Tsukihime thanks to like shit like Melty Blood, like the fighting game that Tsukihime can. If you know what Melty Blood is, Demon.
Yeah, I know Melty Blood.
Yeah. A lot of people get exposure into Tsukihime because of shit like Melty Blood and also Eunice, like Unnight in Birth. And because Eunice has Eltnum or Sion, like because like her name is Sion, but they call her Undernight. They call her Eltnum Undernight, and a lot of people think she's just an Undernight character. No, she's a crossover character. She comes from the Nasuverse. Mm-hmm. But a lot of people don't know that because like Tsukihime is an old VN, and it's pretty frustrating. I'm going back to that main frustrating because we've been waiting for this shit for 10 years, bro. And it's pretty frustrating not to get any news whatsoever, but there is a reason. And the reason is, it's simply just because Nasu is tied up with FGO. It is their big money maker. It is making, as everyone knows, FGO is making billions of dollars or whatever.
Isn't it like the top like grossing app on like the App Store still or no?
Top grossing app, most talked about game on Twitter. It is big. It's a big game, and okay, as a Fate Go player, I am a Fate Go player.
Okay, let's just get that out of the way. Yeah,
I am a Fate Go player, and shut up, dude. Shut up, dude. Okay, so the reason why, because Nasu is like working on. I think they're the scenario writer for the story, and they also write a few stories themselves. So like they're still working on the plot of the second arc of the FGO. And the thing about FGO is that it genuinely has a good plot.
Yeah.
Like, they're genuinely putting effort into this game, and that's one of the reasons why it's so popular. And it's, like, genuinely great plot, and they're bulling, they're working on it, they're making tons of money. Their hands are kind of tied right now because they don't want to that income. And it's just like, well, they're going to... I think Nasu officially said that once they're done with FGO Arc 2, they're going to just stop. They're going to focus on the other Type Moon works that are going on, because there's Maho... And then there's the Fate, the Tsukihime remake.
Oh, never mind.
No, because they're already doing the Fate X remake right now.
Nasu didn't even do Fate Extra, did he?
No, he wrote Fate Extra.
Oh, did okay, never mind.
He wrote Fate Extra.
I heard someone else was doing fucking Fate Extra, but okay, never mind.
No, he wrote Fate Extra. Okay. But yeah, it's pretty upsetting to see the Tsukihime. Like, I don't think it's even the fact that it's taking this long. It's just that we've barely had any news. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. There's nothing really. Just silence. Just radio silence. And we've been given the reason. FGO, and we just have to like wait around until FGO's done. And well, the second arc is done. It's like, well, I wonder when that's going to be, when they can fully put their attention on their other Type Moon property.
Wait, how? I haven't played Fate Go in like I only played like the tutorial of Fate Go halfway through that. Like, I don't remember when I don't even know when they started the second arc.
JP the North American server is behind JP.
Yeah.
They're behind. JP's ahead of us.
Like 6 months or something like that?
No, a lot more than 6 months, bro.
Okay.
A lot more than.
Okay.
But yeah, they're in the second arc of the story. So are we. But for context, we're in the first chapter. No. We're in the second chapter of the second arc of the story. They're on like chapter 6.
Okay.
They're like way ahead of us.
And how many chapters they're gonna be? Have they said?
We assume it's gonna be the same number that the same number that there were in the last arc. But the thing is, like,
so how many?
There was 8. There was 8 arcs. Yeah. So there. But the thing is, there's been parts like the last chapter had like 2 parts. It was part 1 and part 2. That was like the whole part 5 chapter. Mm-hmm. And now they're on part 6, and yeah, that's going. Well, yeah, we don't know when that's gonna be ending because like there's the gap periods because it's a mobile game, etc. On it. So yeah, but it's pretty frustrating just Nasu being tied up and they can't work on the Tsukihime remake as much as they want to because FGO is that money making machine. So yeah.
Chase the bag.
It's not even like a bad money making machine. Like a lot of people have found great enjoyment in FGO and stuff like that. But like it's still like the other Type Moon fans who are a fan of other shit is like, come on, like this sucks. I think Andrew started Fate because of this shit. Like I was on their Twitter and like they were reading Fate Stay Night. I was like, holy shit, it's happening.
And he was like a pure like Tsukihime person, yeah.
Yeah, he was like his favorite character is Kohaku, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. And Kohaku's a Tsukihime character. And they were like primarily a Tsukihime person, but then they was like, you know what, I might as well just read Fate now, I'm pretty sure. Because I don't know if they read Fate or not, but I saw on their timeline they were reading Fate, and I'm like, wait a minute, this is actually happening. It was pretty funny. Dang. But yeah, that's the Tsukihime situation.
Okay.
They're just tied up with FGO.
That's really unfortunate though, because from what I hear, Tsukihime is like fantastic. Like like you said, characters are good. The story is very good.
The story is also like just very different from Fate. Is like
really
a lot of the characters are pretty like beloved. Like when people like and the thing is like when the remake comes out, I feel like they're gonna cut a lot. They're gonna cut a lot. They might cut a lot and they might add a lot. Like because there's a lot of potential for Tsukihime. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of unexplored stuff in the Nasuverse that only Tsukihime covers, and they'll go into that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And a lot of people have complained about the designs in the Tsukihime remake.
It's not bad. I mean,
no.
Wait. Okay.
No, the thing is, right? Like, Nasu, everyone knows about Nasu's, like, quote unquote, same face problem.
Yeah.
Because, like, a lot of issues, like, people have called, like, Arc kind of looks like Saber a little bit. People have called that out.
No.
I don't like Ark's like current design. I like the way she looked. No. I like it, but I don't like it nearly as much as the old design for like, I guess kind of nitpicky reasons. Like I like her longer skirt because like the thing about Arc, she's like a something year old like vampire, right?
Yeah.
So she's used to like olden times. Like she's supposed to like dress like your grandma basically.
Yeah.
Like she's wearing that long ass skirt.
Yeah,
but seeing her in like a short skirt and like boots is like very like jarring when I like now that you like bring that up. You know what I mean? Because like if she's supposed to like kind of like be like this amount of old and she's not like one of the big points of Arc, she's like kind of a fish out of water. She's not adjusted to like modern times. So it's like when she's wearing like a short skirt and like kind of like trendy clothes, it's like what the hell, man? Okay. And it's like people.
I mean that makes
like,
sense. That's fine.
Yeah. And people don't like CL. I don't like the way modern CL looks. She looks way too much like MASH for my liking.
Dude, I was going to say, I'm like, dude, doesn't she look like fucking MASH? But you know,
she looks way too like MASH for my liking. I just don't. I have a distaste for CL's design, like new design. Akiha looks alright, but I feel like kind of nitpicky because I feel like a lot of people who aren't into like Type Moon and haven't read Tsukihime are gonna be like, this nigga's nitpicking, bro. But like, there's like these are genuine things that bother people because they've read the VN and like this. I don't know about all that, but I think the maids have good redesigns. Like the maids have gotten like pretty great redesigns in my opinion. They look fine, But the main three, I'm not gonna say the main three because Hisui and Kohaku are just as they're just as important heroines as the other three.
The
but
three
like
that you mentioned specifically.
Yeah, the three that I mentioned, those are the problems like a lot of Type Moon people have. In me personally, those are some of the problems I have, especially with art. I don't like her redesign, but yeah.
Okay. That's. I mean, yeah, I do agree though. Like, Ark's old design was very good because it very represented that she was like really old, and I was like I was very much like before like I would like got more. I'm not okay. So preface, I'm not super into Tsukihime, but I do know like a little bit of like what's going on in that story. But from what I do know, like I've literally said, I'm like, dude, Ark like looks like a grandma. But like that's like the point. Yeah. That's literally the point. So I would agree that like I do like the new redesign, but I can also agree that her like looking younger and dressing younger kind of doesn't make sense in like terms of context. I agree.
Yeah, and it's I wouldn't say it's hard to recommend Tsukihime. If you like VNs, I feel like you should give Tsukihime a shot. It's fine to be like thrown off by like how dated it looks, but I feel like a lot of people like just like going back to like older anime. You should give like older things a shot because they genuinely have great stuff, especially like something like Tsukihime or the Clan Ad VN. And like you should go back and like because as I said before, Tsukihime is a great story. I love the characters. The characters hold up. Like the thing is, the story still holds up. That's why people always go back and read Tsukihime sometimes. The story still holds up. It's just like it's kind of dated, Yeah. The same thing with older anime. It's just kind of dated, but go back to it and you'll have like a great thing there waiting for you.
Yeah, definitely.
But the thing is, it's not as exposed as Fate, and it's just like, well, a lot of people don't know about it. Yeah, it's not Fate. A lot of people don't know about it. It's kind of disappointing. But I'm here to tell you, my shilling time. Read Tsukihime. Great.
Is it like Fate though?
All right. Speaking of Fate,
shut up, deep.
Speaking of Fate, another piece of news that came up through Crunchyroll was they're talking. Are you familiar, D-Man, with the movie series Karu no Kyoukai?
I'm not familiar with it.
Okay, so essentially, it's a movie series. It's a eight part, right? 8-part movie series.
It's around 8 parts. There's like a few extra movies that they just added in.
Yeah,
but
do you count Mirai Fukuin as one of the movies?
I think you should watch it.
Yeah, okay. Did you know that was the first Karu no Kyoukai movie I watched?
What is? You were 0-3. You're like 0-3.
I watched.
You watched Monogatari wrong. You watched. D-Man. Did he tell you how he watched Monogatari?
Okay.
Did he tell you?
Okay.
No.
I've never watched Monogatari. Okay. I watched Owari Monogatari before I watched Bake Monogatari.
Wow.
Can you believe him? No,
why?
Because he said he was browsing Crunchyroll. Actually, no, you just tell it again.
Yeah.
It's really.
I told the story last week on that last episode, but essentially, short story is I was browsing Crunchyroll. I saw Ogi Oshino, and I was like, dude, this girl looks weird. I'll watch this show. And then I watched it, and I'm like, oh wait, I fucking don't understand anything that's going on. Okay, I'm gonna stop.
Because it's like, like that season is one of the later arcs of the show.
Yeah, I know. But I did watch Mirai Fukuin first, and then I realized, wait, this is literally the end of fucking Kyoukai.
No, it's not even the end. It's like Mirai Fukuin is like the after. It's like it's like an epilogue chapter.
Yeah, it's literally the epilogue of fucking Karu no Kyoukai, and like, cause like I see fucking Kokuto and fucking
he's grown up.
I see their daughter. I'm like, bro, I should not be watching this. What am I doing? But anyways, sorry. Karu no Kyoukai is a movie series by Type Moon. I believe it's a novel first.
It was a light novel first.
Yeah, it was a light novel first. Adapted.
It was the first official Fate.
Yeah, it was the first Type Moon work, I believe, right? There was
I believe it was the first official.
Okay, don't quote us. Okay, this guy's a Type Moon head, but like, don't quote us if we're wrong. I'm sorry. But it was a very early Type Moon work, definitely. But it was adapted into a 7 parts movie series, I think.
By Ufotable.
By Ufotable. I think that was their first work. I believe. I don't remember.
Ufo tables?
Yeah, about Ufotable before Karu no Kyoukai.
Yeah, don't quote us on that.
Yeah, I think it's their first work. It's definitely, like, for me, one of their first notable works. I don't think before Kara no Kyoukai they had anything notable. But
yeah, Kara no Kyoukai was pretty big, yeah.
Yeah, but recently Crunchyroll released an article calling it Fate Stay Night's, or they called it Fate Stay Night's edgy brother or something like that. I've never heard of.
Darker, edgy brother
Darker,
that you've
edgy
never
brother.
heard of.
And I was like,
Sasuke?
man, Crunchyroll, shut your ass up, man. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Shut your ass off, Crunchyroll. Like, actually, like, you, like, don't you dare call us, like,
Fate's edgier.
Don't you fucking dare. That's actual disrespect on
That's dead ass disrespect.
That's so much disrespect on Kara no Kyokai's name. It's actually insane. Because Kara no Kyoukai is about, well, what would you say Kara no Kyoukai is about, Astral?
About?
Yeah, like, what would you say is, like, the central theme of Kara no Kyoukai?
Theme? I mean, it's like a, I don't know about central theme. It's like a dark fantasy, and it's such an interesting, like, take on that kind of genre, and it has a lot of interesting ideas. The main three characters are very great to watch. Everyone, like, Shiki is a very, like, interesting character.
I love Shiki.
Shiki's so cool. She's so cool.
Awesome main character.
You're trying to sell me on this.
What?
We're gonna try to sell Demon. Okay, so I would say it's very, very dark. A very dark movie. Like,
yeah.
I'm pretty sure in one of
there's a lot of messed up stuff going on.
There's a lot of messed up shit. I think in, like, one of the opening sequences of a movie, there's a woman getting raped, and it's very,
that's the third or fourth movie.
Yeah,
that's the third or fourth movie. Yes, yeah.
But I would say it's about, like, okay, so it's really weird because, like, it's about, like, very inhumane things, but in the end, I think it's about, like, what it means to be human, because, like, Shiki is a very inhuman character, right? As opposed to, like, Kokuto, which is the other main character. He's very much a human.
Kokuto is, like, that's the cool thing about Kokuto. Like, he's the complete opposite of Shiki, and he's, like, the thing about, like, a lot of Type Moon protagonists, they're very fucked up. Yeah. Like, very, like, and, like, Shiro's like mentally messed up as, like, he's a very mentally messed up person. Mm-hmm. So is Shiki from Tsukihime. Like, they're well, because the thing is, like, Shiki from Tsukihime took inspiration from Shiki from Kara no Kyoukai. Yeah, they're both called Shiki, but it's like a reimagining, I guess, in a way. But yeah, Shiki and Tsukihime's, they're both Shikis are pretty messed up in their own different ways. But Kokuto is, like, he's so interesting because
dude, man.
He's just a good guy, and that's so cool that he's a good character. And one of the best parts about him, he's just a good guy. Like, he's just a wholesome dude, and it's so interesting because it like all the other Type Moon protagonists are, like, messed up, but he's just, like, what sets him apart from them is just, like, he's, like, actual cool dude. Mm. Like, he's just a good guy, so, and like,
sorry, go ahead. Keep going.
No, go.
So I was gonna say, did you actually read the article? Because I read a little bit, but I was like, man, I ain't about this shit.
I mean, so here's the thing about that title, right?
Mm-hmm. It's very.
I get why they made that. It's very clickbaity, because the thing is, I'm like, oh, it's Fate. So I'll look at this title. I'll read this article. I want to know about Fate's edgy, but I get why they did it, right?
Yeah.
But it would be a lot more respectful. You know what I mean? If they said something like, it's like the grandfather of Fate Stay Night. I think Karoshi.
I agree.
I think Karoshi made that tweet. It would be a lot more fair. It would be a lot more, like, less disrespectful for them to say, like, it's the grandfather of Stay Night.
Yeah, like I don't think them saying it's
the
Fate,
darker edgy,
but edgy. That's not right. Because it's not Fate. It's literally not. It's
not Fate at all.
Not Fate at all. It's just way darker. It explores very human themes.
Well, that's the thing, though. That also implies that Fate isn't dark, which it is.
Okay, it is.
Fate's dark.
Fate isn't just about waifus. Like, people go into Fate Zero like, oh, I want to see Saber, haha, cutie. No, like,
stab.
A lot of people go into something like Zero in the. Well, yeah, a lot of people go into something like Zero in the VN and they're like, I'm expecting this. No, like, it gets really dark and messed up.
Okay, you should definitely not ever go into Kara no Kyoukai if you're expecting waifus. Definitely not. No. You go into Kara no Kyoukai if you want to see some very visually impressive animation, because
and like
Let
a
me tell
great
you.
story rawness.
Yeah. It's,
Oh yeah, you
it's
can talk
so
about how good
Oh
Cardo
my
Kyokai's
god. Okay,
animation.
so the first movie, like I remember this was like when I watched the first movie, I was like kind of iffy on Kano Kyokai too. But when I saw like that one part where like the music escalates and you see like all those fucking ghosts floating on top of the hospital, and Shiki's like, "Aight, yeah."
She just runs through them all.
I was like, "Yeah, this show, this movie is it, Chief. This is it. This is so good." Like it's just like that one scene just like blew me away completely because I believe this movie is like fairly old. I think.
I forgot when the K&K movies came out.
I'm gonna double check that, but I believe it's like late 2000s. I want to
Could
say.
be.
Kara no Kyokai. Um.
Yeah, this is definitely type of style.
Yeah, it's very it's a dark fantasy. That's what it is.
Dark urban fantasy.
Dark urban fantasy, definitely.
Like that's it's like the Faust style. I was.
It's kind of like would you compare it to Boogie Pop? Would you say that's kind of a good comparison? It's kind of like Boogie
they're very
Pop.
different. They're very different, but I see what you're.
Yeah,
I see
it's Boogie Pop in terms of like it sets place.
The setting.
The setting, and like the kind of feel. Of
Dark
Kara no
urban
Kyokai.
with fantasy element.
Exactly.
Kinda.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Let's see the movies. Okay, so the first movie was out in 2007.
That's really
so
like a long time ago.
The movies ran from 2007 to 2013.
Yeah.
So I believe episode 8, which was Mirai Fukin, was 2013, I think. But yeah, for 2007, that movie is a masterpiece of animation. It's fantastic. Fantastic. And it was like really showed off what Ufotable would eventually become with like something like Demon Slayer.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. Like I've always said, Ufotable knows how to animate their action.
They're always 10 years ahead of everyone else.
Definitely. They're very ahead.
I love watching K&K and seeing like just I don't know, but I just like K&K a lot.
Yeah, it's like really hard for me to put into words exactly like how good that movie is. You just need
to watch it. Yeah. I think my favorite part is just the characters, you know? Like, I like watching Shiki do her thing. I love Kokoto, the guy he is, and I like Toko. Just Toko's like a really fun character, too. And like watching these characters bounce off of each other and solve mysteries and, you know, do raw shit is great. Great movies.
And Yuki Kajura is a fantastic composer.
Oh, the music! Oh,
the music of Kano Kyokai, I would say it, I think is better than Fate's.
Ooh, those are.
I say it's better. I say it's better than Fate's. Like Shiki's theme. Oh my god! Whenever I hear Shiki's theme, I hear those. Like I don't even know what instrument it is. Like bells or something. Like you know what I'm talking about, right?
I think I know what song you're talking about.
The sound, the sound you hear, like the beginning of Shiki's theme. That sound is.
Yeah, but that's when you said the music is better than Fate. Those are some high words.
Yeah, I think.
To be fair, there is a lot of Fate music. So it's debatable, but I feel like Kara no Kyokai's music is really amazing. So I get where you're coming from.
Mm-hmm.
I get where you're coming from.
I just think every single like time they use music in Kara no Kyokai, it's done. It's so well done. It's played perfectly, and like it just kind of encompasses like the feeling that the scene is trying to portray.
Yeah.
You feel. And it's fantastic. Definitely, if you like your dark fantasies, go watch this. But don't believe Crunchyroll when they're saying it's Fate. Okay, because it's not. It's not Fate. It's definitely not Fate.
It feels completely different. It feels completely different from Fate.
It's not about waifu bait.
No, it's not. Do not come to Kara no Kyokai expecting Fate. You come to Kara no Kyokai expecting Kara no Kyokai. Different.
But the thing is, I still get why they did it. But you know what that headline reminds me of. So I was in Barnes and Noble looking at manga, right? Yeah. And I was looking at Land of the Lustrous. Bet, right? You know what it said on the back? On the back of like the blurb for like, because you know how like on the back of books they have like the blurb or whatever.
Yeah.
So on the back of the Land of the Lustrous manga volume, it says, "For fans of Steven Universe."
Oh.
and
that's so disrespectful, man.
it hurt. It really
disrespectful.
I mean, I get it, but like, shut up. You know what I mean? It hurt. It really hurt. Like, why? Oh, like, why can't it just be like? I get it from like an advertising standpoint, but like, you can't just tie that like that.
Yeah,
that's what what that headline reminded me of.
Yeah. But I honestly, I just saw this article. I'm like, oh, sick! I can use this as a chance to talk about Karno Kyoukai.
Let's talk about K&K and shill it to everyone. Cause
exactly, it's fine.
Let's talk about it.
Anyways, I think we can move on to the next topic here.
Oh, we weren't okay. So I was okay, good, because I didn't really want to go into that other part.
Yeah, well, I think I want to have like more type moon discussion in the future.
Sure.
We are running a little bit over time, but I do want to talk about this last topic. I want to have some time for this last topic. So, this last topic.
Rachel, come back, please.
Okay,
no.
So me and Astral have some pretty differing opinions about a certain anime studios. About certain 2 anime studios. Okay, so
I wouldn't say 2. I think it's just that one.
I think it's just one, but I do think one of them is better than the other.
Really?
Yeah. Okay.
Interesting.
So, we're going to talk about Studio Trigger and A1 Pictures.
Goat?
A1 Pictures Goat?
Oh. I like A1. A1's fine.
Okay, so for those of you who don't know, who don't really know the studios, A1 Pictures is very famous for making shows like...
No. You should just end it there. A1 Pictures is very famous for making shows. a lot of shows.
But you will know them from shows like Sword Art, from Anohana, from
Your Lie in
April. Thank you.
Fairy Tail.
Fairy Tail, yeah.
What else? Is Fairy Tail a highlight? Is Fairy Tail a highlight?
We'll talk about that. And then Studio Trigger is famous for Kill la Kill.
Their flagship work is Kill la Kill.
Yeah, their flagship work is Kill la Kill. They've done Luluko.
The thing is, Trigger has not existed for that long.
Yeah.
A lot of the studio's like staff is from Gainax.
Yeah.
And like you can tell which portion of Gainax came to Trigger, like completely. Like
pretty much all the people who worked on like
Gurren Lagann,
they're probably on Trigger or in Trigger.
Yeah. Like Imaishi.
Yeah. So, I personally, I do not like Trigger. I'm not a fan of any of their work, and I don't think they're that great. I think they're really overrated as a studio.
Don't agree.
But
I think they're great.
I think A1 is also very bad. They're really up and down, but I think in terms of studios, I would say A1 Pictures is a better studio in terms of animation only.
What the fuck?
I think they're better than Trigger.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
I think Trigger, they don't animate very well.
I think you're dumb.
Okay. We'll talk about this.
Wrap up your point,
My point is, I think shows like Luluko, which I will admit is a very well animated show, is not the norm. I think that is a peak, but it's not their norm. I think their norm is way lower. That's my take. That's my take.
Oh wait, hold on. I'll be right back.
Yeah.
No. This is dead ass.
Okay. So D-Man, before we started the podcast, you said you also had some thoughts about Studio Trigger. Do you mind elaborating to me what these thoughts are?
All right, so my issue with Trigger is like anything they ever done is like I found it to be mediocre at best.
Mm-hmm.
Like I tried watching Kill la Kill, I could not get past episode 4, despite everyone saying it gets good. Like I never really vibe with it.
Mm-hmm.
I watched Kids and Ivor, watched it till the end, did not like it at all.
I thought Kids and Ivor was so bad. I thought Kids and Ivor was such a shit show.
Like it was bad from like the first episode. Yeah. I knew from the first episode. It's like, but like I was like, I'll still watch and see how it goes. and it's like, eh. And then like what else? Then I watched.
You watched Kill
I
la
think
Kill,
that
right?
I watched the first 4 episodes.
And you dropped it?
Yep.
Okay. Why did you drop it? 'Cause I feel like Kill la Kill is a show that people love to death. Right?
Yeah.
But I don't understand why they love it to death. I think it's not that great. I think it's people just like it because it's like, oh, it's cool. Oh, it's kind of like this weird etchy kind of show. When in reality, I think that they're over analyzing it, and it's literally just what it is. It's just fan service disguised as story.
Yeah, like that's my thing. Sorry, thing is like a lot of stuff like Trigger does. Like they try to disguise it like some deeper meaning behind it.
Mm.
Like the Kill la Kill, like the whole idea of like Ryoko using her suit. He's like, oh, you're supposed to be female empowerment and about like being comfortable with your own body. It's like to me, like, and they blatantly say that like when they like the first couple times she uses it.
Mm-hmm.
So like to me, it's like kind of like. If it was a deeper meaning, like you didn't have to tell me it.
Yeah, exactly. Like show instead of telling me this is what our theme to the story is, I'd rather you show it to me in this. But okay, that's besides the point. I think for me, like my big problem with their shows, I don't think they're visually impressive. So when I'm comparing these two studios and talking about the quality of their shows, I'm talking about how their shows look exclusively. Like let's ignore the story for now, okay? Because both studios have because A1 Pictures has their share of really bad like stories, but
they make do what they can.
yeah. But I've been like looking at their studio prowess, it's just like by like animation standard, I don't think that Trigger is that great because I remember I was watching Kill la Kill. And there were scenes where it's literally just a PowerPoint presentation. And I was like, this is garbage. Why the fuck am I watching this? Or like there's scenes like when they fucking cut off their arms and shit like that. That was terrible. Oh my god, my eyes.
I like for me like you can go ahead.
No, sorry. Yeah, do you have anything to say about like just do you agree with my take that A1 is a better studio in terms of just how their shows look? Would you say yes or would you say no?
I find it hard to like my main issue is like Triggers like usually it's turns story stuff like in terms of animation like it's good, it's decent, but like from what I saw at their peak it's like kind of like yeah it's good, but like when I think of, like A1 like when I think about like you're in April, for example, that's like beautiful.
Mm-hmm. I mean, SAO has like always been consistently very, very well animated too. Like
yeah, like
you can hate on SAO. You can hate on SAO all you want about its story being bad, etc. You cannot say that show looks bad, in my opinion. I think if you say that show looks bad, you're just wrong.
Yeah, Nate. SAO never had never every single fight scene has been good, like in terms of animation quality.
Definitely. I think like consistently every single season. I can't name a moment in SEO where I'm just like, this looks like shit. But there are many moments in like something like Kill la Kill. Okay, so if we're comparing like their kind of like the peaks of them, we can talk about like Kill la Kill and SAO as like their peaks. I don't know.
Yeah.
We can talk about that. Like there's a lot of moments in Kill la Kill where I'm like, this show looks like shit. But there's not a moment in SAO where I can say that. At least I can't recall. There's no memorable moments where I'm like, okay, this show looks bad.
No, like even after each season, like the animation gets better.
Like Alicization right now, its animation is crisp, clean.
Like
their action sequences, fantastic, awesome. But like I said, Kill la Kill. There's a lot of there's moments in that series where their animation, like it's like their budget drops. Like they're a smaller studio, I understand, but like at least do something, man.
Like to me, like with Triggers, like kind of like what like most of the stuff like it's always consistent, but never things that just like blow you out the water.
Wow.
You can notice the dips in quality more often than you can notice their like peaks.
Yeah, that's a good point. Well, I think A1 is very much a studio where you notice like their quality, right? Like you've seen like looking at stuff like Anohana, like Shigatsu, I think it's what's called.
Shigatsu no Lion?
No, not Shigatsu. No, sorry, that's the wrong thing. No. Your Line April. Sorry, I'm trying to think of the Japanese name, but I can't remember it. Your Line April, like that you easily notice like animation quality in that show as well. But obviously they have their bad shows. Like let's talk about Persona 5. That was an atrocity. That was an absolute atrocity of animation. But like, I think that was one of their few shows where I'm just like, wow, this show looks like shit. I honestly like I'm trying to think about shows like a lot of their shows look okay.
Like I actually look up. Like I don't.
Sorry, go.
Like I don't think they ever had like in terms of animation like a bad show. Even like when they split. Yeah, before Persona. And even like when they section off and created Cloverworks, everything Cloverworks has done is like, whoo.
Yeah.
It's like, except Kiss. It's like, Bunny Girl Senpai. I think their first Cloverworks show is like, as becoming independent from A1 was Bunny Girl Senpai, and that was very good looking.
That show was fantastically animated, but like, would you consider that A1? I guess you could consider that A1. You could also consider Troika part of A1 as well because they're also a A1 split company. Like, I don't know if you watch like Recreators.
I watched some episodes. I think I watched like the first 8 episodes. I think
Troika they did Al Noah Zero, which was okay. I mean, I wasn't a big fan of their 3D mech designs. They're really boring. But they're like Martian design mech designs were like awesome. That show looked pretty good. Recreators, very good looking show, I think, in my opinion.
Yeah. I like what I saw of it. Yeah. In terms of animation.
But I would say that just consistently I would say that A1 is more.
Hello?
Hi.
Okay, I'm back.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
The points,
what I missed.
Okay, so the points that you missed, I'll just reiterate real quick. D-Man said that me and D-Man both kind of agree that A1 is more consistently good. Or more consistent than Trigger. Cause
in what way?
Okay, so a lot of their shows are like okay looking. At best.
What?
Yeah. No. Like what? I never said okay at best.
I'll say that. What were you saying?
I was saying like they consistently look good.
Okay.
But like it's the issue is like you cannot really pinpoint like a point for me at least. Like you cannot get a point where you're like, oh, this is an amazing animation.
From Trigger?
Yeah, from Trigger.
Yes, you can. Wait, what?
I'd say, but like I said, I think that's not the norm though. Because
I mean, okay, no. The thing is, right? Trigger has a much different style than every other studio.
Yeah, they make it look very good.
Like, okay, so before I go into what's the rest of your points, Matthew?
Okay, so the rest of my points is so if I'm comparing like something, I'm looking at like 2 very popular shows from Trigger and from A1. I'm gonna compare SAO and then I'm gonna compare Kill la Kill. Okay, 2 very popular shows. There is not a point in SAO where I can say this show looks like shit. But for Kill la Kill, there are multiple points where I'm like, this show looks garbage.
Give me an example.
Okay, do you remember? Okay, I don't remember the scene exactly, but it's literally, fucking stop motion PowerPoint animation, for Ryuko. I don't remember the exact context, and it was. Are you just
saying just because, like, okay, well so are you saying like they're just moving like across the screen?
No, like literally, it's literal stop motion animation. Like, there's no like actual movement. It's just like this kind of like drawing of her, just like kind of teleporting across the screen, frame by frame. and it's disgusting. It's so.
I mean,
and then
the thing about that is okay. Well, let's end that.
I was gonna talk about people getting their arms cut off in fucking Kill la Kill, and it's so bad. It's terrible.
I mean, the thing is like, okay. Well, the thing you mentioned is I'm not sure this particular scene that is. You're gonna have to like.
Yeah, I'll.
You're gonna have to show me that.
I'll try and show it to you. But
like Trigger uses limited animation as like a gag in their anime all the time, bro.
Yeah.
Like literally just them like there's that scene of like Nui pushing like the green guy from like the Big Four like off a cliff, and it's just like them sliding like the thing like it's them. It's like not like an actual anime, like it's them sliding him and like he falls off the cliff. And the joke is they're using limited animation as like the joke. You know, they're using that as like that's literally just the joke. They're like Trigger always like uses in like animation in very inventive ways. Like I don't think that's the point of that scene was, you know, look as good as possible. It's like a cartoon. Like they're using the fact that it's animation to like do slapstick stuff like that. Oh, this just looks bad. Like, no, that's not what they're trying to do. Like the whole point of Trigger, they're not consistently trying to make their stills look beautiful. I think the point is like they're trying to like make it like so that like something's like usually like there's a lot of points in which like something like Kill la Kill like they're not afraid to like do like really cool beautiful shots or whatever, but like usually what they'll go for is like how can we make this scene as like exciting or as like interesting and fun to watch as possible. You know, it's not Trigger's thing isn't about like, oh, this show looks amazing. They're more about like, you know, the animation, you know, the movement, you know, Trigger shows are always moving. There's always something happening. And I think there's a lot to appreciate in that. It's not like traditionally good looking or whatever, but I wouldn't say that it's like bad just because they're like experimenting. Like the thing, like there's a great Digibro talked about how inventive. There's a really good video. Like I know I've been talking about Digibro. He made a very good video about Trigger's animation and how inventive it is. It's like there's this one scene of Nui like the way she dodges his attack is like twirling around and like like they have like a 2D thing of her and then like it just around like paper. And the point of it is like it's not just like, oh, this looks good or whatever. It's like this is like a very fun and inventive way to like animate, because like the thing about Nui is that like she's basically just a cartoon character. She breaks the form constantly, and it's like that kind of inventive shit is what makes Trigger shows fun to watch. It's traditionally beautiful. Like I don't even know how you can compare SAO to something like Kill la Kill. They're
I'm just comparing. Like, I'm just
in terms of animation.
I'm just comparing it off of because they're two very popular series from both from both studios, and I would say that they're close to peaks.
I mean, like they have such different styles. Like A1 is like standard for like, oh, this is how like modern anime looks. This is just like how like anime looks or whatever, you know? And like Trigger's like the opposite. They have a very specific style. And you go to Trigger for that style. They have a very particular way they animate. They have particular gags that they fool around with in their animation. They're like not about like that normal shit most of the time. And when they do have that normal shit, it looks really good. Shit like Kisniver looks very great. They're like moving, bro.
What?
I think Kisniver has like very good points sometimes, you know? I don't
Dude,
wait,
Kisniver, I think Kisniver looks like shit.
Really?
I thought that show was terrible looking, man.
Well, okay, minus that shit. There's shit like Gridman as well. If they're not going like for like a slapstick style.
Okay,
I think Gridman.
Gridman. I'm not gonna talk about Gridman or like.
You haven't seen Gridman?
Well, okay, I haven't seen Gridman, and isn't Gridman like not a Soul Trigger?
No, Gridman is Soul Trigger.
Yeah, Gridman is Soul Trigger. You're thinking of Darling.
Okay, we'll talk about Darling in the Franxx, but
we can talk about it now.
I mean, the thing is, Darling in the Franxx was a like Trigger A1 combination, and it's not a surprise that Trigger teamed up with A1 and brought out their blandest product. So it's like, okay.
No. Wait. Wait. I can tell you right now. You can tell the story elements which was Trigger and which ones with A1.
Okay. Let me hear this.
Okay, I told Michael about this earlier. Basically, like, okay, so I do not like. Okay, I have dropped Kill la Kill like after episode 4.
Mm.
So basically, the main reason was because like the way they tell like the whole issue with like Ryoko's suit was like the point was how the suit is supposed to be used in terms of female empowerment, being comfortable with your body, and to be like, sorry, I need some. Let's try.
It's all good. Take a sip of water. Take a sip of water. Essentially, okay, so I can finish the point for you. So essentially, what D-Man said earlier was, in Kill la Kill, they were very vocal about what their message was. Like they straight up said what their message was instead of conveying their theme through like the show.
Yeah, because like most of the times, like when they tell their stuff, is like blatantly tell you this is how you're supposed to feel and interpret it. Mm-hmm. When like that's not the way you're supposed to tell stories. When the audience is supposed to interpret what it's supposed to mean.
Mm-hmm.
That's not necessarily true, but sure.
No, like if there's some exception with like the Monogatari series where it's like they strictly tell, and it's good.
Yeah, what's the problem?
No, but like the issue is like I don't really like shows where like they just blatantly tell you how you're supposed to feel about whatever situation's going on, and like in Darling in the Franxx, you can blatantly tell like what type of message they're trying to tell you, legit from the first episode.
A lot of people don't even. I know a lot of people that don't even get the themes of her show.
Wait, what?
Oh, he had to cut out. He had, but okay, well,
wait, that's what.
We'll probably just cut this.
Yeah, keep going.
Sorry. What were you gonna say? We'll just redo this tape.
I know a lot of people that don't even get the themes of Darling in the Franxx, even though like it's literally just thrown at them. So I don't know, like.
How can some person be that dumb?
I don't know, but the thing is about Darling, it's like Darling in the Franxx is like such a whatever show. Like
that was trash from episode 1.
if it was trash from episode, why did people keep watching?
Because 02.
Why
they like
people absolutely praise shit like episode. People were still on the Darling in the Franxx train even at episode 15. People only started to like hop off the train after that.
No, like
I don't believe that. That's not true.
No, from different like you can tell like story elements like from like episode 1, it's like, oh, this is very trigger S. Like we're showing you like they're trying to be metaphor like, oh, the way they doubt the mecha is like, oh, this is supposed to be sexual positioning for intercourse. It's like, oh, okay, okay. So to me, like when I saw that, they didn't even explain that. So like to me, like to me that just makes sense.
It's a metaphor. That's it. That's the whole point.
It's completely obvious, and like some people didn't.
There's nothing wrong with that.
No, but that's to me like kind of like what trigger issues like they blatantly tell you things to the point where it's super obvious.
You're saying that they're overly simplistic in how they want to convey messages. Is that what you're trying to say?
Mostly, like, yeah, basically. But then, like, it later have like you can clearly tell like the way that the story went was like super. It went like a mess of like trigger, a mess of trigger. My voice.
Okay. Sorry, I'll let you finish your point.
Yeah, it was basically a mess of trigger in A1, where you can tell like the end is like very trigger, but the way it got up to that point was like very A1.
What do you exactly mean by very A1? Because I'm kind of getting like what you're trying to say here. Like I'm getting the trigger side, right? But I don't exactly know what you're trying to say when you say.
Yeah, the thing about A1 is that A1 shows are always different.
I would say A1 is a chameleon studio. They're very
that's because they always bring in different directors for like almost all their shit. There's not like there's a lot of like revolving door staff, and it's like sometimes they bring out. That's because like that really shows you though, because like sometimes they'll bring out like a big banger, like something like Anohana, or even people like a lot of people like Your Lie in April. A lot of people like because like there's so many different people working at A1, different directors coming in for different shows. They're not just like there's not like central figureheads in like the studio a lot of the time. I feel like because like you know who's working at like Trigger. It's like Imaishi. They have a specific direction they go for. You know who's working at KyoAni, like specific things. But the A1 doesn't really, you know, I don't feel like they really have that. It's, as Mecha said, it's a chameleon studio.
No, but I mean by like it's very A1. It's basically like in terms of like the romantic side of it, because like from like because like the way Trigger does, they never do romance really.
Okay,
so basically,
I mean, that's not.
I'm gonna say this is D-Man's take. I'm not on this.
Wow. Oh, you're abandoning.
Okay. I'm abandoning D's take here.
Why?
I disagree that Trigger does not like do romance well, because Luluko is a very good romance.
Luluko is very romance driven, even if it's pretty gag focused.
Yeah.
No, but like in terms like that's not their general focus for like Studio Trigger.
Okay.
Romance is an A1's general focus time.
No, like most of the stuff most of the stuff they've done is like very emotional driven, like somewhat semi-romantic, which like from like episode like what 12 or 13, like they first started to put more.
Okay, think about what you're gonna say. Think about what you're gonna say.
Yeah. Chill out, bro. Chill out.
Okay. No, it's my voice. It's like more focused on basically like more emotional stuff. Which is like from episode 12 to like 15 or 16, where like you get 02's backstory and like the whole marriage stuff, which is trash.
I mean,
you said just.
I guess, but okay.
It's the whole point, right? Is it's a collaboration. You don't really know which particular thing worked on this. Sure, like you're like, oh, this is very Trigger-esque, but like I'm sure they like collaborated on some ideas together. It wasn't just like, oh, this is entirely Trigger's fault. This happened. Like, no, that's not how it worked.
No, I'm not saying that at all. I'm just basically saying like to me like some stuff are more blatantly obvious to me.
I mean, I guess so.
Okay. What was I gonna say? Man, I'm blanking now. That was such a dynamite take that Trigger doesn't do romance well. I was like, wow, I have to think about that one for a while. Okay. Do you have any? Fuck, man, I'm fucking blanking. Sorry. Do you have anything? Do you have anything to say in like response to that, Astral?
In response to what in particular? There was a lot there.
Like
there was a lot there.
Like refuting. I guess you already refuted the point.
Yeah, I was refuting. Like,
man, I should have wrote down. No. I should have wrote down what I wanted to say. Fuck. Okay. So let's talk.
We're talking about Trigger's animation.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I was talking about Trigger's. Oh yeah. Okay. My point that I wanted to make was so going back to like the Kill and sort of gag thing. I think that's fine, right? But like the way that they're marketing like. Fucking Kill, or the way that they wanted Kill to be consumed. Didn't they want it to be consumed as a more serious show?
Not really. Like Kill has
like that's my problem with Trigger. That's my problem with Trigger in general. They're not like their like vibes of the show are always just like they're always off. It's like if a show is meant to be serious, like you don't need to be adding these gag moments. Like
I don't think Kill was particularly advertised as specifically serious. It was like I think it was apparent from episode 1 that they had a lot of, slapstick comedy in it. I don't think it was just dead ass like, oh no, this is our first. That was evident from the outfits alone. Like, come on, man. I don't think it was directed as an entirely serious show even like when it was coming out at all. I don't agree with that at all. Like, sure, if you don't like the way Trigger vibes, that's fine. But I don't think it's. I mean, I don't hate on like how they vibe. I just want like okay, so what?
Sorry, so Kill like at least like from like the story of it, it's about like empowerment and things like that. It's like some like. And it's meant like when I talk to people about Kill, they're talking to me about like how it's meant to be like intense and things like that.
Is it?
Well, at least the people I've talked to, they're like trying to.
I think they kind of missed it.
Okay, so that could just be the people I'm talking to, but I feel like it's not.
Wait, are there people out there that just really? Are there people out there that just really take Kill la Kill like seriously? Like really?
Yes, there are.
Yes,
You would be
That's
surprised.
very
You would be
That's very
surprised,
strange.
Oh my
Astral.
God.
That's very strange to me, considering the whole show. I don't really get that. That's very weird to me.
Because I agree with you. Okay, I agree with you.
I
That
think
Kill
la Kill is just supposed to be like a fun ride. I don't think like you're supposed to like take it seriously.
Trust me, a lot of people. People think that different.
I know a lot of people who take Kill like the themes in Kill la Kill very seriously. But like,
there are good themes that they explore, but I don't think it's an overly serious show like what you're saying. Like I don't.
Okay, so if looking at it from like an eyes of just like a fun show, okay, sure, like that kind of animation is fine. But if you're looking at it like from like if you're looking at it like you put on like the analytical glasses, which maybe you're not supposed to do, like then you start to see like, okay, this show is kind of fucking whack.
I mean, a lot of people have taken shit from it. Like I've heard like there's a lot of references to like a specific era of Japan, and like Satsuki represents like the emperor of the time or whatever, and like it's like there's a lot of like references to like a specific era of Japan, and a lot of people have taken a lot of value of Kill la Kill from that kind of like thing, and like that there's not like specifically only like one thing to take from Kill. There's still things to take from Kill la Kill. You can still like have a fun time with it, while like taking it. Like I feel like that's kind of lost on the Western audience though. Because like no one gets that. A lot of people don't know like Japanese history. I don't really get that aspect of it either, because I haven't really looked into that part. I know a lot of people like that part of the show. There's a lot to I feel like there's a lot to appreciate about Kill la Kill, like even in rewatches, because there's like a lot of references to like previous like even Gainax works that they make, and it's like really just enjoyable. Like here's just one thing I admit, because like in the ending scene of Kill la Kill, there's a reference to Tsukabon Deka. And Tsukabon Deka is like this old, like, Japanese television show about, like, the Tsukabon, like, the gangster girls, basically, like, in high school. Like, like, the long skirts, like, the mask, the nailed baseball bats and shit like that. It's basically like, like, the Josuke hairstyle thing, like, those kind of guys. But, like, it's for women. And, like, one of the things is, like, Ryuko, like the ending is like basically a shot-for-shot reference of Tsukabon Deka's like opening or ending, I'm pretty sure. And it's like a really fun reference when you actually get it. But like Kill la Kill is filled with all types of that kind of shit. And I feel like a lot of people just are lost on it, or just like I guess take it too seriously. I don't like I feel like Kill la Kill was pretty consistent about its tone throughout the entire thing, but I guess people like are overly I don't know.
I mean, okay, here's the thing. If I look at a show like Kill la Kill, yeah, sure, it can be played for laughs, but if when I watched it, I wanted something, it had the potential to be something really good if they took it seriously, and like they just kept it at, like, they just like, how do I say this? They kind of kept the comedy in check, and they went harder on like their.
I feel like what the thing is. I feel like niggas just wanted on, but again, I think that's the problem. I think niggas really just wanted Gurren Lagann, but again, and I think that's like the main problem. They're looking.
You know what? I think that's a very. I think that's a good point, because, in my opinion,
that was never the intention with Kill la Kill.
I never. If you expect the same type of show, you're wrong.
Okay, I'm not saying that was what I expected. Okay, I'm not saying that's what I expected. I'm saying, like, sure, people can expect that, but Gurren Lagann is like the kind of show where, okay, if you look at Gurren Lagann, I don't remember any parts in Gurren Lagann where they made the animation shit to make a scene funny.
There was gags like that in Gurren Lagann. There was the scene in which, like, there's a scene in which he was pulling out the sheath of his sword, and his sword is long as hell, and he's like, "Why are you still pulling it out?" And like, there's a lot of gags like that.
Okay, but like that, but that's not what I was. But that's not what I'm talking about. Like, in terms of just like animation drop, that's a clear gag, right?
But like using limited animation as a joke isn't an animation drop. It's just using limited animation as a joke. It's pretty. It's something like you'd never see in like most anime anymore. Like that's very particular in terms of like the Trigger-esque. Like that's just their style. They use like you've seen Inferno Cop. They use
I
limited
fucking hate
animation as a
Inferno
joke.
Cop. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know. I mean, yeah, you've talked
Inferno
about
Cop
you
and
don't
Ninja
like it.
and Ninja Slayer, the animation. I think those are those are
Well,
really
I don't think
pointless
Ninja
anime.
Slayer is very fun. I don't. I think Inferno Cop's funny, but I don't think I think Ninja Slayer was just like
I didn't see a point to Ninja
yeah,
Slayer. That
yeah.
in my mind,
You
that's
told
like
the joke. You
that's
told the joke once, and that's it. Like yeah.
in my
But like
mind.
using
In my mind, that's like their super low point is Ninja Slayer. Like I understand it's probably
ninjas.
meant
I don't
to be
think.
made to look like that, but like why? What's the point?
Yeah, I don't think Ninja Slayer needed to exist either. But yeah, they use limited animation as a joke. It's. I don't think that's counts as like an animation drop at all.
Maybe
I don't really get
I
that.
guess I think you do have I guess you do have a point, but like I said,
I don't think
I
Kill la
like
Kill has bad
consistency.
animation.
I like consistency in my anime.
I mean, that's fine, but like Trigger's going for a completely different thing here. They're always going for a very inventive style. Like I said before, the Nui dodging thing. You know, they're they're just so interesting. I love watching the way Trigger characters move. I love they're just so interesting to watch. They're so unlike any other like. I don't think any other anime studio is doing anything like Trigger's doing with their animation. If you want something like that, you used to be able to go to Gainax for something like Panty and Stock. Well, to be fair, like all the like the people who work on Panty and Stocking are basically at Trigger now. So yeah.
Yeah, you can tell.
But yeah, you can tell. Like if you want something like Gurren Lagann, if you want something like Panty and Stocking, if you want something like Kill la Kill. You can't get these like kinds of shows at other studios. They have a very particular style. They're great at what they do. And the times when they don't get to do like that kind of stuff, which is like shit like Inu Battle and like Darling in the Franxx, they don't get to go out with like what they want to do. Even like a smaller like a more scaled down project like Lip Witch Academia is like still has like a Trigger flair to it. What I mean? Like very
I like Little
explosive.
Witch. I was a big fan of Little. Okay, I like the.
If you were a fan of Little Witch, then I can tell what you're a fan of. Like you're a fan of a more scaled down, right?
Of a what?
You're a fan of a more scaled down of Trigger, right?
I like when Trigger isn't just like in my face with them being Trigger.
And the thing is, that's fair. Fit on your tastes. Like I don't think.
But that's subjective, right? I'm saying that. Just in terms of their quality, that I think that A1 is more consistent. That's my whole point here.
I mean, but quality is like
it's another. I guess it's also subjective, right?
Like I've heard a lot of people say like Kill la Kill went under budgetary issues or whatever. Because it uses limited.
I can fucking
just because
tell
it uses
budget issues.
No, it didn't. It just because it uses limited animation as a gag doesn't mean it went under budgetary issues.
Oh, is that what you're saying? Okay, I thought you were actually saying that they literally did go under budgetary issues.
No, they didn't. That was just the thing that they did. It was just like it wasn't. I don't like that. Just I think people are just dumb. I don't know. Like to say that like you think Kill la Kill went under budgetary issues because they use like that kind of thing as a gag is really to me. I don't know.
Another take I have. I thought Battle was pretty good. And I'm gonna be real with you. I thought Battle was good. It was a good Trigger show because it wasn't a Trigger show really. I feel like a lot of people get on my ass for that opinion though.
Battle was. It's been a minute since I've seen it. It was from what I remember. It was all right. It was okay.
Like I asked people,
but the thing is to me it's kind of boring in comparison to a lot of their other works. That's
to be fair, yeah. I mean, if you're a fan of the Trigger style, okay. I think my like final point in this is, if you like the Trigger style, you really like it. I am a person who doesn't really like the Trigger style. I prefer something more. How do I put this? I think like you said, scaled down, like something not so much in your face. I want something that's like very consistent, very clean. And I feel like A1 really brings just like a consistency to all their work. Because I think most of their work has looked like pretty good. Would you agree with that statement? Most of A1 works look pretty good.
They just look.
They look anime.
Yeah, they're just they're
just anime, I guess.
Yeah, that's
It is like.
I mean, but the thing is, a lot of their shows tend to be like pretty mediocre as a result, and that's not even just like a jab at them. Like a lot of their shows are just like kind of boring and basic, and that's not even just the like that, but like they just pump out so many shows. Like I'm pretty sure one year there was like 11 shows a year. And like a lot of other studios would like only like do one or like shows like studios like KyoAni or like UFO Table and like Trigger, like they only do like one or two projects a year. Like A1 is out here like maybe one or two, but A1 is out here doing like so many. And as I say, like, you know, quality over quantity. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but like, you know, if they write better stories, then I would like them.
Yeah, but I'm like, person, like when I'm looking at the studio, like I don't actually know like if the studio itself is in charge of like story writing. I don't actually know that. So when I'm comparing studios, I'm looking just purely at animation. I will concede the fact that Trigger at its peak looks very good. I will say.
They look good.
Have you seen Promare?
Yeah, Promare is crisp.
Promare looks
that
amazing.
might be their peak. But from a technical standpoint, my final take is from a technical standpoint, I think A1 is a more advanced studio. Because if you look at
advanced?
A1 at their peak,
what do you mean advanced?
Like, and just their peak looks way better than the peaks. I would say their peak looks better than peaks of Trigger. That's what I'm trying to say.
I don't agree because number one, Promare is right there. Number two, I think that Trigger's animation is 10 times more inventive and interesting than something like A1 has brought out in a long. Like something like Alicization, sure it looks pretty, but I don't think it's as interesting as like something like, you know.
Sure. I can say that Trigger
particularly interesting.
I can say that Trigger has an interesting style, sure. But
it's more unique.
Is it better?
It's inventive. It's pushing a lot of shit.
Is it cleaner? Is it cleaner? Is it just cleaner? I guess that's what I'm trying to say. I don't think
there's a lot of ways to animate mecha.
I know.
There's not just like the specific standard you have to set to for animation. There's different ways.
Sure.
Different ways to animate.
I think
you think animation look a specific way?
I think that personally, I think that studios like Ufotable and the peak of A1 are like that's the standard. That's what you should aim to look like if you're an anime. That's what I'm saying.
You should aim to. Oh man, this is why we don't have many studios like Trigger. I don't know.
No, like they just like Trigger rather do unique things.
Yeah.
They'd rather do their own. Rather have like really cool, doing their really cool shit.
They probably doing anime only stuff more than just like adapting a manga, light novel, or novel.
Yeah, and a lot of people really like their project.
Yeah, like so, like that's fine. But like to me, like when I think about that, like I know Trigger is like a limited studio, so I don't know how they handle writing stuff. It's just like when their original works, they like be blatant about their themes in terms of what they want to tell you or like try to convey, which always never really sat right with me about it. But like when it turns to animation, it looks good. I can never knock them down for that.
Yeah. Their shows always have references to, like, older anime, you know? Like, Gainax, like, they have many references, like, am I cutting out, by the way?
Oh, you're a little bit.
A little.
Okay. Their shows always have, like, to, like, old Gainax shit, and it's really cool. Like, when you see them, and you're like, wow, I get that reference. That's like some animation similar to like this thing from like this thing, and it's like really cool because they're like they look up to like that kind of shit, and they want to like show it to like a new different audience, and it's great because if without them, a lot of that shit would just be lost to time, and they're doing shit like Trigger's doing shit like the I think it was it was like the Young Animators Project, and it's like spotlighting newer talents.
Oh yeah.
And like projecting their careers, and they're constantly showing like that kind of like the old greats of animation. They're showing the old greats of animation to newer people, so they can keep that kind of shit alive, keep that kind of sakuga alive. And that's great. And I think that's like they're more about animation than and using it to like be inventive. They're not like aiming to just like look pretty or like stick to a specific like the generic anime style. And I think they're doing a lot better off for it. And I think they're thriving because of it. Because so many people look forward to like the new Trigger show coming out. And it's great. And Promare, I think Promare is, I also agree with their peak. Because like it paid off. A lot of their hard work and effort really paid off. So many people loved it. I loved it. It was a great, fun movie. And I loved watching crazy shit go down. But if Trigger is not to your taste, that's fine. I feel that as a big fan of their shit, I can't agree.
Okay. All right. Any final thoughts about this kind of this Trigger discussion? The topic, I will admit, the topic itself is a little bit hard because, like you said,
it's weird because
they're very different studios, right? But I feel like, but the real reason I'm comparing them is I feel like, to me, I felt like Trigger didn't get enough shit, but A1 got too much shit, like for like they're just like what they've done. That's what I'm. That's
I feel A1 gets too much hate.
Yeah, definitely they get too much hate.
They've pumped out. But the thing is, like, if you're gonna like make so many of these shows, I feel like you should. There's gonna be at least a good one eventually. You know what I mean? Like you're gonna have your Lion Aprils. You're gonna have a show I personally was working. You're gonna have your. I liked work. I know a lot.
That show was good.
I liked work, but you're gonna hit gold eventually. But like, and I'm not saying A1 is like a shitty studio or anything. Just like making so many shows, or saying like, I feel like eventually you're just gonna like, oh, we finally got a good director, and we're gonna make it a good show, and it's like that's cool. But like a lot, there's like when I look at their filmography, there's so many shows that are just like or like there's so many shows that are like
they have a lot of mid-tier shows. I think
there's so much mid. There's so much mid when I look. There's so much shows that I never hear people talk about anymore. And I always hear people talking about Trigger shows. They're still talking about Trigger shows. We're still talking about like Kill la Kill. We're still talking about Luluco even. Even Luluco was just shorts. We're still talking about Little Witch. Like people still love the Little Witch movie. Like it's a lot, and then you just look at A1. It's like wow, they sure have their standouts, but that's a lot of mid, in like the midst of it. I'm not saying I don't like them, but I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. I know
Yeah.
Okay. So do you have any final thoughts, D?
It's just like Triggers. Like they always have good animation, but like stories can be just kind of meh. I don't know if it's the thought of that they hire in out-house or is it in-house writing. Like if they had better written stories, I like them more. Is because like most of the stuff they do is like meh or that's like not good at all. In terms of like A1, it's like they pump out so much stuff that people are always like, A1's trash because they point out to this, and this. But then you remember,
I think that's unfair. I agree.
Yeah, that like when he's like, oh my goodness, look at Your Line April. Bless A1 Pictures. They're like, fairy tale trash.
I mean,
I think Fairy Tail is trash, but
Fairy Tail.
I think Fairy Tail is definitely trash.
Fairy Tail's not outright trash. It's pretty. it's pretty mediocre.
I think it's
feel.
trash.
I still love Fairy Tail.
I think you also brought up a good point, D, of like about how like they also spawned some very successful other studios from A1 as well.
Yeah, with Cloverworks, Troika.
I think those two studios have a promising future.
Yeah, but like Cloverworks,
they're pretty good.
Cloverworks, like Bunny Senpai, then coming into Promised Neverland. Oh,
didn't Cloverworks also do like the Fate show? Like I think
yes,
they did Babylonia.
Yes, they did. They did.
Babylonia?
They did Babylonia, and Babylonia animation is amazing.
Oh, they did. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like I was surprised.
Yeah, I feel you, Dylan.
All right, so I think we're pretty over time here, but
I really hope I was cutting out. Oh god,
you're cutting out a little bit, but you know, I think it's fine. I think people will still understand what you said, but yeah. So that's gonna be it for the second episode of Listen Up Anime Podcast. Do you have any final shout-outs, D?
You can find me at D_man416X on basically anything. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. Naruto fans are... Yes.
TikTok?
You have a TikTok?
Yes. The Naruto fans are coming after me.
I see.
You wanna plug your community as well?
I am the owner of Team Tsundere. It's basically like a Smash anime Discord server. We're going through some changes recently after certain events, but like hopefully I'm planning to do something as soon as I get my new as soon as I get my new laptop. Why's my voice cracking?
All right. Team Tsundere. That's a name I haven't heard in a while, man.
Yep.
Definitely bring.
I'm still there.
You're still there.
You're still there. You don't talk, but like
this man has been in that server since forever, man. Holy
yeah. Trust me, I'm trying to do something, but my laptop's not cooperating.
No.
I respect it. You have any last words you want to say, Astral, before we say goodbye?
Watch Karno Kyoukai.
True.
Read Tsukihime. No? Okay, well, I'm just saying this Type Moon bias, but whatever. And thank you all for watching. I really appreciate if you got to this far anyway. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, this is gonna be a long ass episode, bro. We talked about a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And, for me, thank you all for listening. Really hope that you guys enjoyed this episode. Enjoy the last episode too. Make sure you listen to that if you haven't listened to it yet.
Facts.
Shout out to our editor, Kimmy, because I know she.
Kimi has to edit.
Oh no!
This is gonna be a long ass episode, but I know you're gonna make it fire. I know you can. I believe. Yeah. As always, watch Kanokari, and I'll see you.
You shill.
I know. I didn't actually talk about it this week. I had to bring it at the end. Chizurumi's Hearts.
That's fair.
All right, guys. We'll see you next week. Take care.
See ya.
Later.